than it used to be, but challenging games out there.
I'll say this, though. If Georgia does lose and Auburn beats Oklahoma, I cannot imagine what Georgia will do to Auburn in Athens.
Because they would have that, because
they
get-right game?
They would really have the mat on coming out. And, and then Auburn maybe a little more confidence coming off an Oklahoma loss. Win or lose, I think if Georgia lost this game, that just doesn't shake well for Auburn.
All right.
Probably doesn't anyway.
That's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. We'll get Brownie back in here tomorrow and make sure everything's going right with the Brown Man, Brownster, the Brownie, Rhino, all the nicknames you want to throw out there for him. Forrester and Tyler back there. We appreciate you guys so much. Taylor is down in our social media center, and, of course, EG down on campus in Auburn today. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com for all your college football needs right now on the Next Round platforms.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts. Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
From the creators of The Next Round comes two new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. Two team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. CoverCrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in. Happy football season. At the Next Round, we strive to make our loyal listeners feel like they're a part of the action all season long. My name is Emily Grace McWhorter, and I do that by bringing you along for any given Saturday in Auburn or Tuscaloosa. From pregame warm-ups, touchdowns that make you feel a part of the play, and everything in between, our goal is to make you feel like you're inside Bryant-Denny or Jordan-Hare. Follow along on our social media at Next Round Live on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Also, check out thebarnauburn.com and covercrimson.com while you're at it. Here's to fall Saturdays.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back with you live now as we go on a Wednesday of week 5 of college football. Baseball was sweet last night for a couple of franchises, including your Atlanta Braves. We'll get into that more coming up a little bit later on. Somebody's finally challenging the want-to of an NFL quarterback that's been questioned a long time. We'll get into that too. Welcome you all back into the MyBookie AG chat room. We welcome Tyler and Forrester back. Taylor Korn has got everything in the social media platform. I think EG was in Auburn yesterday, Tuscaloosa today as she continues to file from on campuses. But we start today with a story that we knew was coming at the quarterback position at some point when you get to this. But and we'd heard rumblings last year. You never know what is true or not true about an SEC running back. My hamstring's hurting unless I get an X amount of dollars to play in this rivalry game or this or that. But overnight, for most people who were not up when this story broke, Matt Sluka, quarterback at UNLV, says, I'm shutting it down because my financial commitments basically have not been made, that I had an agreement with UNLV and they have not been made. Since he made that statement, UNLV has been releasing stuff saying every financial commitment we promised Sluka has been made, and this is a situation that he has hired representation since they're off to a 3-0 start, and they've come back and said our value of our client has gone up and we want more money. We have an agreement, but I want more money or I'm not playing, and that's where we are in this story.
Boy, I will tell you, this is by far, and I know this is going to sound crazy to some people because it's the UNLV starting quarterback, but the repercussions of this, because I believe UNLV right now is the best Group 5 team. They've already beaten 2 Big 12 teams, and you know, in both Houston and Kansas. And this is a team that has a pivotal game this week against Fresno State, where they were a 2-point favorite or a 3-point favorite. They've gone to a 1.5-point dog. This shows you the impact of Sluka at starting quarterback. And I think this is just tip of the iceberg. We're going to see more and more of this. You don't know what side to believe, but UNLV, I don't know what the dollars are for them getting to a college football playoff, but it is massive. And it's a lot less than they would have to pay this kid. And just paying this kid doesn't guarantee that they're going to go 11-1 or 12-0 and actually go to a college football playoff. But for him to take his ball and go home after 4 games, I mean, this is an incredible story.
What is apparently Rob Sluka, what is apparently Sluka's brother.
Yeah, just recently has come out with statements.
Yeah, and he's saying he comments on the report you were talking about where UNLV's like, nope, we did everything we agreed to, new agent involved. And he says, you've got the wrong sources, then none of that is true. So the Sluka family is like, UNLV's lying again. I mean, this has become...
But here's what I would say, though. If you gave him these NIL agreements to come from Holy Cross to UNLV, and Jade Maeva was a good quarterback that won 9 games with them last year, got a nice NIL deal to go back up Miller Moss at USC, they wouldn't have missed a beat. Maeva's that good. Like, I don't know if he's as good as running the ball as Sluka is, but whatever the agreement they made with him, why would you not pay him knowing that there is a chance that you're going to be in a college football playoff this year?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you that.
I've got it with you. If you're UNLV, he had you over the barrel, but it's a pretty good barrel to be over, right?
No, but you guys, I mean, come on now. If you have an agreement with somebody.
I agree with you.
If you have an agreement with somebody and they come back to you 3 games in and says, I want more money now, you really going to bend over to the guy?
No, that's what I'm saying. But if UNLV had that agreement and is not fulfilling it, no, I wouldn't necessarily bend. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying if UNLV didn't uphold whatever the guarantee was for him coming in, that would make no sense.
Okay.
Yeah. I lean with UNLV because I don't think UNLV, why would they not pay the dollars that they said they were going to pay?
Yeah.
He's been better than advertised. They're in a better spot than they were in last year. So it doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying if that was the case, they need to,
call me naive. I'm believing the school here.
I think that's a little naive. I will call you naive for that.
I'm believing the school here, and that this guy has realized, man, I undersold myself. I'm the starting quarterback. We're good. We're getting a lot of attention. I need more money now.
Or could it be this? This is his final year of eligibility. Could it be
right.
that Sluka believes Hey, and look, watching Sluka, he's good. He is not an NFL quarterback.
Oh, I mean, have you seen the numbers?
He's 10th in passing in the league.
Have you seen the numbers?
No,
I mean, I was blown away.
That's what I was telling you guys after watching them against Kansas. I think they're really good. This go-go offense is kind of fun, but they rely way too much on quarterback design runs. And that's basically all it is. And the guy can run the football. But you think there's a belief, though, that, hey, look, I can go play at Auburn next year for Hugh Freeze and make $2 million or wherever the school is.
Yeah, that's important because, to your point, is that he's only played 3 games. He could still redshirt and go play somewhere else
Higher
next
profile,
year.
and he could be a name.
But Forrester, you gave me numbers. Now, Les Forrester gave me bad information earlier today. He's not averaging over 100 yards a game rushing. They played 3, and he's rushed for 235. He's like 41% passing.
I've got his numbers right
yeah,
here.
read them to me. Okay. It did not blow me away.
So I would be surprised if he's not their leading rusher, though.
You'll have to give me a second on that one. At Kansas was his best rushing attack that night. 19 carries, 124. That's where Lance came back and like, they rely on this guy way too much, right?
Yeah,
19 carries.
But that's 19 carries for 124. What does that equal per yard?
I mean, that's still like 6.
Yeah,
he's averaging 6.49 a carry. I mean, that's pretty good.
Now, how many other rushing yards? Because we had him at somewhere, what did we have him at, Forrester? Like 235
253.
253.
Yeah, 124 of that came in one game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so almost half.
half.
Less than 100 a game.
He is their leading rusher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, put it. So Cameron Frill is like a 6th-year senior there. He started for him like in 21 or 22, and he's no good. I think Fresno was going to beat them anyway, but they've got no shot now. Unless this is one of those galvanizing moments.
He's not completed more than 50% of passes in any game. In fact, in his last game at Kansas where they ran him too much, they had to run him, Lance. He had a 38.9% completion percentage. He couldn't complete passes.
This guy thinks he's going to go play somewhere else.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you, in their system, he's really good.
Yeah.
I know, but
I'm just saying there's going to be a major drop-off. You
think so?
I think it's going to be a blow-up for Sluka because I don't think he's good enough to play some major program and be on a platform to get to the next level and play in the NFL. And then I think for UNLV, it's going to cost them 2, 3, 4 losses.
Yeah, if a kid with a 38% passer rating came in, how many yards passing? I mean, it's not even. You got him 10th in the Mountain West.
He's 10th in the Mountain West.
I'll tell you what he is. He's Taylor Green without the speed. He's just a bull. He's like
you think they rely too much?
He's like a poor man's Tim Tebow is the way he plays the game.
Very poor.
He really
very
is.
poor.
Quickly on your magical board over there,
Sure,
Brownie.
what you got?
Later today, I'm doing an interview about how the internet just betrays me. Go over there really quick. And tell me how much, if you think Sluka is relied on, go pull up Jalen Milroe's numbers for me and see how much Alabama relies on Jalen Milroe. How many rushing yards does Milroe have so far? I mean, I bet it's got to be more than 235, it feels like, right?
Well, give me a second.
I mean, last year,
magic board
in a game, this is
quick.
with Holy Cross, though, but he rushed for 330 yards in a game.
Last
year.
That was at Holy Cross.
But still, that is a Division I quarterback record for rushing yards.
Milroe has rushed for 79 against Western Kentucky, 2 against South Florida.
Yeah.
75 against Wisconsin. 36 carries, 156. I know what your next question is. What's Alabama look like?
Yeah.
Rushing yards. Hang on, give me one second.
Hey, real quick, if Oklahoma goes into Auburn and Michael Hawkins wins the game, I think Jackson Arnold's going to come out with the same statement.
Jalen Milroe. Whoa.
Wait,
okay, real quick. Let me finish. Let me close the loop on this one before we go to that. Jalen Milroe is Alabama's 3rd leading rusher.
Yeah.
And he's 100 yards through 3 games behind Jim Miller. So it's not really close.
Yeah, but
that's 100 yards through 3 games. But
he
they
also
depend on him a lot, no doubt.
I mean, he's either throwing it or running it.
Now,
is my
6
point.
rushing touchdowns leads the team, but that's quarterbacks get quarterback sneaks, they get goal line runs. I don't know that's.
But they're also a big part of every pass they throw.
No, there's no doubt. Yeah.
All right,
so now
this offense will not run without this guy.
Okay, so Jackson Arnold, your point there, you're not going to say you're not. I understand what you're saying, that if he's not the starting quarterback, he can shut it down, save the year, go somewhere else. But you're not saying he's going to make an NIL claim.
No,
saying Oklahoma. Okay.
No, I think he's going to make a
You
best
said
for
same
me and
kind
my
of statement.
family.
You said
what I meant by that is the 4 games. I think, Kristen McCaffrey being maybe the first high-profile guy to say, I'm going to shut it down and not play in a bowl game. Now it happens all the time. I think, unfortunately, we're going to get to 4 games, and guys, if they're not getting their way, they're going to shut it down.
This will be, and Lance is on to the point here with this guy. Everybody's like, this is going to start a wave. I don't know that it will, and here's why. Because I think you're onto it with this guy, Lance. This is the last moment in his football career he can ever leverage his football career for any money. This guy has no future in football. Maybe as a coach, He can't play anywhere. He can't even play in the CFL.
He could probably play for Skip Holtz.
Oh, Skip Holtz he'll make him all league. That's all Skip does.
Adrian Martinez was a guy that could run he couldn't throw it.
Adrian Martinez runs circles around Scooble.
There's no doubt. Scooble.
Whatever this guy's name is. Sluka.
Nobody knew his name before today.
I'm just saying, go back to Adrian Martinez in college. He was an average quarterback that could run and couldn't throw it.
So,
this would be the worst quarterback Skip Holtz has had yet if this guy was his quarterback.
I was just throwing an example out that like he could play in one of those leagues possibly, but I do agree. He's going to make more money at UNLV than he will ever make playing in any professional league.
And I hate to say this, he's not even good enough to be our 7-on-7 flag quarterback in the Olympics coming up either. He's not going to be on that Olympic team either.
I can't wait to see takes from guys like Nick Saban on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, they'll hate this. And this kid does not have the COVID year. This is one of the first players that is a senior without the COVID year because he played right away in 2021. So this is the only chance he's got to continue playing football is to shut it down now and not play in a fourth game. Now, Clinton in the mybookie.ag chat room says, not placing blame, but this is what people wanted, right? Unforeseen circumstances are always lurking. Clifton is 100% right about this. This is one of the unforeseen circumstances of what I think is a good thing, that players can make their money in school on name, image, and likeness. However, as I always say,
we're about to get out of this situation.
As I always say, you know what would solve this? Contracts.
Yeah.
Players are employees, and they're under contracts. If Sluka...
But is this NIL? I mean, look, you do our NIL deals. We've got one with Peyton Thorne. He obviously took last Tuesday off.
He did, yes.
But in full honesty, he didn't get paid for last Tuesday.
No, he will not, no.
Okay, but I wanted to ask you this.
Okay.
That seems like a locked-in contract. Whatever Matthew Sluka had seems like it would have been a locked-in contract. If Peyton Thorne had 18 touchdowns and no picks, and Auburn was number 8 right now, undefeated, and he was one of your top 4 or 5 Heisman Trophy candidates possibly, could he come back to us and say, you know what, this isn't enough, I want more?
He can, yes, I think. But now I say I think. Let me give you the opposite side of that, though, Lance. So this is something I've learned through this that I did not realize, and this is Alabama. All of our NIL deals are done within the state of Alabama. So because they're Alabama state players, state of Alabama school players, they're subject to the Alabama law. And this is what our attorneys have told me that do the contracts on these things is, it would be easy for us to say, we'll do a NIL contract with Bo Nix or Peyton Thorne or Jalen Milroe. And as long as they're the starting quarterback,
right,
they appear on our show every week. By state law, you cannot tie it to performance on the field. That's
Correct.
one of the loopholes here, right? So we can't go in and say, as long as you're a starter, you're on the show with us. It's a gamble for us, obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
Twice with Auburn.
With Auburn. We haven't been burned with Alabama just yet, but twice with Auburn, it's been a gamble to go with the starting quarterback, and twice now the starting quarterback's lost his starting job.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they can't demand more in season. Like, how can this guy demand more in season? That's one of those things, like, what he could have done is play your ass off, and once you get to the college football playoffs, you know what? I'm going to need a little bit more going into this.
Yeah, but at that point, you can be UNLV and say no. Obviously,
you can, but I think you could work this behind the scenes. I think he has more leverage if he lets this play out.
Well, this has been going on behind the scenes, LT. This is the thing you do. This is the ace in the hole. This is the card you play because you've been negotiating. The new agent's been negotiating. After every big moment UNLV's had this year, it's been like, hey, we need to get Slukes a little bit more money, dude.
Yeah.
And well, you heard Mike Gundy.
Barry Odom's been like, we've got a contract.
I don't know if Forrester could find it at some point. And Forrester, I know you're doing a million things back there, but you guys remember Mike Gundy when he said, look, and I think it was a Big 12 Media Days or right before the season started, I have told these guys it is time to play football.
That's right.
We are not negotiating anymore.
Yeah,
like that stopped when we're kicking off the regular season.
Yeah.
You guys can come back to me when the season's over. We can renegotiate, but right now that window is closed.
So I'll just make a quick point on what you asked, though. Like if Peyton Thorne had just blown up, could he come back? Our contract would have still been good, right? I mean, our contract's our contract. I think what probably happened here was he goes back to the school. If UNLV's side is right, he goes back to the school and goes, I know we got these contracts, but y'all didn't know I was going to have us in the run for the playoffs. So what else can you do for me?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that he's violating the contracts, right?
Yeah.
He's just saying, I need more contracts.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you what. If I'm Barry Odom, you think you've got us in the running for the playoffs?
Oh, no,
bro?
that's the gamble.
Yeah.
That's the gamble.
Yeah, but I would think that
This-
it's an overall deal. Like they cut up how they want to figure out the NIL. You're getting this from this AC company. You're getting this from this car dealership.
Yeah.
Oh,
but we've given you $700,000 to come be our starting quarterback. You have got to play out the season on your $700,000. If you're his old man, hey son, look, I know you might have some leverage here, but this is just not the right way to do this.
It is not. And, sometimes kids don't do what their parents say or live up to their parents' integrity. I would just say this. You got to at some point draw a line in the sand and say, listen, I'm not going to be held hostage if that is the situation that's going on. And we'll lose football games rather than bending over and letting you jack us up. Because, by the way, if I come back and give you an extra $100,000 right now, so you can go out and play against Fresno State this week, and everything's gonna be fine. You can play the rest of the season if I give you $100,000 more. Yeah, yes, coach. Well, guess what? If we win 3 more games in October and the leaves are falling in Las Vegas, there's no leaves. Foliage bad in Las Vegas.
It's dirt for yards out there.
If the dirt's being raked in late October, and we're still unbeaten, you know what the Sluka family may do? They may come, or a different family may do. They may come back for more money.
They may.
Oh, look, again, I know this is something that we've said a million times, but I mean, if you're listing reasons that Nick Saban retired, it was after that Rose Bowl loss to Michigan when his own players came in. And it wasn't, what can we do to get better? What can we do to actually beat a team like Michigan next year and win a championship? It was, what can you do for me?
Now,
How much more can I get?
In the MyBookie.ag chat room, Charlie says, what must his teammates think? Oh, I bet they hate the situation completely. I don't think there's any doubt they do. But I will say,
Knife and tire.
yeah, this does occur in the NFL. I mean, you've got Reddick at the Jets. How long was that holdout?
Hassan Reddick?
Yeah, Hassan Reddick. Heck of a player, right? Could he change things for the Jets?
Yeah. He's a closer defensively.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick's a heck of a player. And Hassan Reddick missing playing time.
Well, CD Lamb.
Actual playing time, not preseason games we're talking about here. We're talking about actual playing time.
But this is the way, and maybe Barry Odom's just like Mike Gundy, but here were the comments, and I forgot the date. I don't know if you've got the date, Forrester. He was able to pull this quickly.
Well, Scott's the best. That's
but
fine.
I don't know if it was Big 12 Media Days. I don't know if it was before
that does
week
not
one
look like
of
Media
August.
Days.
The 15th.
The 15th? Okay.
Camp is going on. It's in Stillwater. Mike Gundy back in a next round flashback to August.
That's what I told the players. There's no negotiating now. Portal's over. All negotiations history. Now we're playing football.
You can enjoy
just coaching and playing football.
Conference and a 12-team playoff and everything being so different.
God, let him talk.
Yeah, and the business side of what we do now is we have to have those conversations with them. Tell your agent to quit calling us and asking for more money. It's non-negotiable now. Going to start again in December. So now we're able to direct ourselves just at football, and that part is fun because there's been so much other stuff going on. It's been hard to really focus on football.
Yeah. On the flip side of this now, to your point, if you're good enough, you can go back to the table and the coach will make a decision saying, well, dang, he is good enough. And the big booster may say, listen, coach, I know this sucks, but I'll throw in $250,000.
Like before Saturday, now Saturday might have changed this. Before Saturday, if Alan Bowman had gone to him and said, I'm pretty important to this team right now. I don't think I can play against
Saturday.
I know, before Saturday. I don't think I can play against Utah if, right?
Man.
What do you think Mike Gundy does to that? You think Mike Gundy goes into Utah with his backup quarterback? Now, he ended up playing his backup anyway. He didn't know that was going to be the case.
I don't know. He's kind of a he seems kind of hard, like he would be like, go to hell.
If anybody would, he would.
I will say that we use the clip, I'm 40, I'm a man, all that forever. And that was kind of a meme and a soundbite that will follow him forever. I think that last soundbite is something that needs to be played over and over again. Because I think coaches... There has got to be a way. And look, maybe you even incentivize in season where like, okay, you're playing great through 4 games. We're just going to give you a $100,000 bonus.
Yeah, maybe you do have some bonuses. Got to tell you about a couple of great sponsors here. But before I do that, can you think, I just want your in a nutshell, because we said a lot in 18 minutes there. Do you believe that you should give the player more? Or are you saying no? You shouldn't renegotiate because you're loving on Gundy's comments here, but you started off sounding like you wanted you had to give him more money.
No, I don't think you should renegotiate. That's what I'm saying. I think Gundy's comments are dead on.
Okay, so
if you've got
Gundy.
If you've got that feel internally, if you're just like, hey, if you've got a guy that came out of nowhere and he doesn't have big NIL deals and you want to pay him a little extra, or you want to tell a guy, hey, after the season, you're doing great right now, we're going to take care of you. We can put something on paper. We're going to give you some kind of bonus at the end of the year. I don't know. But I do think the negotiations should be shut down. It shouldn't be about how much more can I get. It should be about how are we going to beat Fresno State and go to 5-0?
I just needed, because it did seem like you were
No, I get it.
You were a little all over the place there, like you understood, and maybe Sluka deserved more, but you do believe the Gundy, and I think that's what I believe too. Yeah. Though I'm a big boy, and I do realize that that if you are a good enough talent, people are going to put money in your pocket. Maybe it doesn't have to be the coach or the
I think this just
school.
sucks for his teammates. Absolutely sucks.
It does.
Because they have an opportunity really to have a special season. Again, whether or not they were going to beat Fresno, it's going to be a tricky game this weekend. They were a slight favorite. Now they're catching points.
Yeah, speaking of points, tell us about mybookie.ag, Brownie. Mybookie.ag.
Well, you want a point spread?
Yeah, I don't know if you've got the UNLV point spread pulled up, but I know you could.
What time's that game? Give me what time the game is, and I'll tell you.
Which game?
UNLV.
I think it's 2:30.
2:30?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
UNLV all of a sudden catching a point at home from Fresno State. Yeah. Where did that open? Do you remember where it opened?
Yeah, I think it was 3.5.
By the way,
it was UNLV favorite 3.5.
Yeah, UNLV was 3 or 3.5.
Keep in mind, it is Las Vegas. It's Las Vegas' team. They're getting a point now. Money runs to the table.
Hey, do it.
Hey, go put a lot down on UNLV getting points now.
And all of a sudden, this gets it.
Because on Thursday, you're going to see a release that Sluke is playing because I've padded the NIL money.
How fishy is that going to look in Vegas? No joke, Lance.
I don't think it can happen now.
You don't think he can come back and play?
I mean, I guess he can, but like if I'm his teammates, I'm like, what a greedy bastard. It's just a terrible look. It's going to be a bad look on both sides.
Yeah.
You can pick your side right now. Are you behind UNLV on this? Are you behind Sluke on this? But it's going to be a bad look for both if he comes back and plays. I mean, I think the percentages are like 5 to 10% because nothing surprises me now. But do you think it's higher than that?
That he comes back?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's 5 or 10%. I think at some point Barry Odom's going to be like,
I think they torched this bridge.
Yeah.
Sluka, does anybody have his height and measurement?
I think he's like 6'3", 220, just watching him play.
Okay. Can we do a T-shirt that says in UNLV colors?
And I'm just
QB1, 6'3", 220, greedy bastard.
You were very close. He's 6'3", 216.
Lance is good. Lance is a carny. I don't know if you've learned this, Tyler. He can judge people's age against their height and weight.
So we go gray and red or red and gray T-shirt, QB1, 6'3", 2 whatever.
Yeah. He's not the first, and it will be for a different reason. But I have a feeling that we have seen the last of Jackson Arnold. And maybe Jackson Arnold plays in the final 3 quarters and they beat Auburn and he has this revival. But for him to get benched and the way it went down, I think he could be done at Oklahoma.
In the old voice of the Michael Jordan intro. And now, 6'3", 216 senior from Locust Valley, Nevada. Please welcome greedy bastard.
Greg Anthony, Anderson Hunt, Stacey Ogman, Larry Johnson, those guys were making more back in the 90s playing basketball at UNLV than Sluke is making right now.
And that's the way you handle this.
Yeah, they probably could they could figure this out behind the scenes.
It's big booster dirty money, not in
Here's the one thing that I would have.
It's the easiest way to play.
Wimp used to have Dr. Transcript. You don't have to worry about that guy anymore.
Nope.
And making sure these guys are eligible. I would make sure that I had below board boosters. I know that sounds bad, but money guys that at any point need to wash some cash and they're ready to pay on the drop.
Okay, tell us about MyBookie here.
2 points. That's where you find both Georgia favored in Tuscaloosa and Oklahoma favored down on the Plains, both favored by 2 in that game coming up Saturday. If you want to play that game coming up Saturday, Thursday night action in the NFL, Friday night action in college football, you can do it right now. MyBookie.ag, code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to sign on. You can make an initial deposit. They are going to double it. That is absolutely free money. And it's not something like you got to win 5, 6, 7, 8 times to get that money. You win the first time. That money is yours, my friend. You can keep going with it, cash out, whatever you want to do. That's the way they play it at MyBookie.ag. So easy to use. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag. Don't forget code next round to get that sign-on bonus at MyBookie.ag. Code next round.
And our friends at Talladega Super Speedway NASCAR Racing coming up, October 4th through 6th. We'll get here very quickly as we wind down the month of September here. A chance to go to the world's fastest speedway, see the world's best racers all in NASCARs this weekend. weekend. 877-GO-TO-DAGA. All playoff races. The trucks on Friday, the Xfinity Series on Saturday, and the Cup Series on Sunday. You got a rodeo. You got a Jayco in concert. And, of course, you've got free camping. And you can upgrade with that immersive garage experience right there presented by Coolray. Get those tickets today. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or 877-GO-TO-DAGA. Now, you've heard the stories, too. Before we go to JD in Huntsville, you've heard the stories, too, that last year there may have been a player in the SEC. Now, I never said names because I don't have it confirmed. I wasn't in the room. But you've heard people tell stories that a rivalry game, a running back wanted a little extra money before playing in the rivalry game. So I don't think the Sluka situation is the first time this kind of stuff, the shakedown, has happened, right? I don't think it's the first time it's happened.
Probably not. I just think most of the time the teams have caved and you don't hear about it. Or it's a mysterious injury that is not really an injury, so you don't suspect it.
That's right. All of a sudden, why is this guy not playing?
Boy, he looked fine at the end of last game.
JD in Huntsville is next with us. JD, man, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, guys. You know, a couple of things here. Number one, I mean, he's saying he's going to redshirt. Well, I think that's up to the school, isn't it? I mean, he doesn't get to decide that on his own. So UNLV kind of has the leverage here. They can say, no, we're not going to redshirt you. You're going to lose out this whole year, and that's the end of your playing career unless you come back.
No, I don't think that's the way that works. The way it would work is if he transferred somewhere else, that year would not count against him because he only played 3 games. I don't think it's like the school does not have to apply for the red shirt. His new school could, and they could base it on the fact we only played 3 games.
His time with UNLV is done.
Yeah, no, he could go somewhere else in theory. I don't know that he's good enough to, but he could.
He would have to do that, though. He couldn't just stay there enrolled with a scholarship at the school. I mean,
they can pull his scholarship. I bet.
Absolutely. In fact, I think today, if they want to, they can end all benefits for him. Like if there's housing, his ability to on the food plan or whatever. I don't know how much that matters to him, but I think that's the way the rule works.
Whatever NIL agreement they had in place, I don't know what Nevada law is. They maybe could pull that away from him. It could all change very quickly. You're right, JD.
So
but the school's not the one. In the old days, you're right. You decided, okay, this is our red shirt. But I think more of that was we're not going to play you. We're going to red shirt you. And
so they basically just pull a Milton from Office Space and fix the glitch on him.
Just fix the glitch.
Just fix the glitch.
Keep moving him around.
That's a great call, JD.
Thank you, JD.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you so much.
It just needs a stapler. Lance guy just wants a stapler.
Yeah, just wants his office
space. I just cannot believe, and look, I'm all about these guys getting paid, but I cannot believe that we are at a point where a player can really take hostage of a season.
Yeah.
Which he's really doing right now.
Again, contracts would fix this. That's the part that everybody doesn't really want to get to, but I would just continue to say I think employed players under contract fixes a lot of what you guys hate about all this stuff. The transfer portal, it fixes that. And stuff like this today, Lance, it fixes that.
I was having a conversation with a booster earlier this week who says he believes that is coming and that coaches, schools, and money people are they're in favor of that because then you have in writing what the agreement is, and you can go back and negotiate. I believe it'll be an option to be a 1-year guy, a 2-year guy, or a 3-year guy, and you decide to sign whichever one you want.
But if like Isaiah Bond was a 3-year guy, okay, if he was a 3-year guy, and Isaiah Bond wants to go to Texas, Alabama's like, yeah, what's Texas giving us? We'll get in touch with Texas and see what they'll give us.
They need to buy you out of this.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to cost money because we have you under contract. So at least Alabama gets money back from Texas for that, right?
Some protection, some windows for negotiation. You make contracts look the way you want to make them look. Have a bonus window put in there.
Right. A 1-year look in or something. But the other option for Isaiah Bond would be, okay, then you don't play at Alabama. And this contract says right here, if you don't appear in a game by your choice, you don't get paid. So that's your choice. I mean, that's what contracts would do.
What about in-season trades? Jaden Maeva come back from USC to UNLV.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows the offense, that go-go offense. He was great in it last year.
ESPN's Adam Rittenberg has spoken to Bob Sluka's father, again, to give you both sides of the story, fair and fast here on Sports Nation. Bob Sluka, father of UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka, told ESPN that his son's agents agreed to an NIL deal with the school back in February and has never received payments despite requests and never asked for any adjustments to the original deal. So Bob Sluka is saying, that's the dad, that we never got payments on our original deal that we agreed to, and we are not asking for any more than what our original deal is.
Yeah.
Now, that's a different story if that is true. Ball's in UNLV's court now to come back and say, oh, no, that's not true. If they can't back up proof that that's a false statement, then advantage Sluka and the Fighting Sluka family.
I find that hard to believe. Like, I don't know how cash-strapped UNLV is, but, I'm rolling into one of my local bankers that I know and say, hey, look, you guys jack up the interest, but there's a good chance that we can make a college football playoff and we'll be able to pay this back sooner than later.
Yeah. But what happens? Whose knees get broken if you borrowed from the wrong person?
I don't know.
That's one of my favorite characters.
And I'll go back to Dunaway
Barry
being
Odom
naive.
comes into the news conference on crutches.
He's got the Bobby Petrino neck brace on. What happened, Barry? I was on a motorcycle. Why you ask?
Do we really live in a world, though, where UNLV would make these promises and know that moving forward, how are you going to get high-profile transfers to your program if you're going to break these promises?
Jaden Rashada would tell you Florida did. That's what Jaden Rashada's side of the story is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, do we live in that world? Potentially. I don't know if we do or not, but I know Jaden Rashada is a pretty high-profile player that said that's exactly what happened in Florida.
More of your thoughts on this as we continue on. We'll get to the games of the week. You guys know how I feel about these kind of stories breaking during the football season. It takes away from the actual game talks. Two of the big ones this week right here in our own state as Oklahoma comes to play Auburn. And, of course, Georgia's in to play Alabama. We'll break down Georgia and Alabama a little bit later on, and Brent Venables is frustrated. Storm Restoration Roofing, owned and operated by our friend Greg from Pell City, 20 years locally owned, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and trusted by insurance agents everywhere. Boy, Greg from Pell City, not going to get on your roof today because of the rain and stuff coming in, but it's a good time to check out your roof right now to see if you have any water dropping into your attic or maybe into your attic and down into your upstairs rooms. Greg from Pell City can give you a free no-cost roof inspection when this storm blows through. If there's any damage, he can repair it. It just takes one shingle to jack up that roof. 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531, or just look him up on Facebook. It is Greg from Pell City right there. And LT's been telling you a while now about the great folks with WonderFan. WonderFan is the opportunity for you to go to games as a fan and earn points and eventually vouchers with great brands like Dick's and 47 brand where you get all the gear. It's our friends at WonderFan.
Yeah, I know our friends at WonderFan continue to grow this incredible concept. Their partnerships, again, if you've got a vendor out there that you love and they're not partnering up with them, let them know, and they will work on that. It's a first-of-a-kind stadium's rewards app where sports fans earn real rewards simply by cheering for their favorite team. All you need to do is head to the App Store, very important, first thing you do there, and search WonderFan, WUNDERFAN. Once you do that, let your earnings grow. Once you're in the stadium, check in. It's that easy during each game you attend. You'll earn in the background once you press start, and once you have enough earnings, you can redeem for cash vouchers to your favorite retailers like Dick's, Champion, Lululemon, 47 brand, and more. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. They're loving this. Even weekly ticket giveaways, you can use your points to enter. New rewards are added weekly. Again, just head to the App Store, search WonderFan, start being paid for your fan loyalty. WonderFan, it pays to be a fan.
Chris on Twitter in the mybookie.ag chat room. I hope the kid's teammates catch him on the quad and kick his tail. You go code red on the guy, Lance?
I don't think you'll see him on campus.
You think he was on campus before?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not in Vegas right now.
Dunaway, would you call a code red? Did you order the code red?
Did Barry order a code red? You can't handle the truth.
I did what I had to. Did you order the code red? God, such a good scene. Do you love that scene as much as I do?
I do.
It is the peak of Jack Nicholson. That is the best he ever was, right there, Lance. Sitting on that courtroom stand,
he was
yelling
very
at Tom
good.
Cruise.
He was very good.
That was his best acting ever.
It's not my favorite Jack role, but I thought he was very good.
Big on The Shining. Hey, big on Daniel Moore art. And you got an opportunity right now to grab the legend, Daniel Moore's tribute to Coach Nick Saban's time in Alabama, including all 6 national championships. You can pre-order right now with DanielMooreArt.com, DanielMooreArt.com. Nick Saban's autographing a handful of these, but those are running out. Those autograph prints are going fast. So go today and order your autograph print from DanielMooreArt.com, DanielMooreArt.com. So Coach Saban agreed to sign a few of those. That's a mock-up there. Daniel will go to work and at the New Life Art Studios and come up with a great-looking tribute to Nick Saban there. Go right now, danielmooreart.com, danielmooreart.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com. Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken. NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool-Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. I'm here with my good friend John Lanyas of Lanyas Furniture to tell you about special values on some super comfortable seating. What you got, John?
Lance, every year we stock up on great comfort items like Lazy Boy recliners and sofas so that our customers can be ready for fall and football. This year is no different. We've made special purchases that will deliver great value to Next Round listeners and give them the most comfortable seat in the house. And as always, we've got the best prices in the state on Lazy Boy and the best selection anywhere.
That's awesome. We all know from years of shopping with you guys that Lanyas Furniture is the home for Lazy Boy value. Our friends at Milo's Hamburger invites you to join them in the fight against hunger in our local communities by bringing non-perishable food items to your local Milo's, including canned goods. When you donate a canned good or any non-perishable food item, Milo's will give you a free drink. Together, we can make a difference.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool-Race, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA. You can't wait for college football talk every Monday, so we don't make you wait. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. You can catch ESPN's Tom Luganville with Jim Dunaway on Monday Morning Live at 7 a.m. I'm with Brandon Marcello on the Middle 8 at 8 after the Next Round. Hear from Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer and Auburn coach Hugh Freeze. After the coaches talk, Fox Sports analyst Brock Hewer joins Lance Taylor for Unlocked at 1 o'clock. All college football, all day Monday, anywhere you get the Next Round.
Still some hope from Forrester's White Sox out there.
Oh, they got to win out, right?
They got to win out. They're 37-120. They got the win last night.
Can I bring up something on the Braves? Were you going to talk Braves later?
Yeah, let's get to the Braves a little bit later on. I just wanted to get that out.
Remind me to bring some up.
Get that. We got a lot of baseball to get to. We'll squeeze that in around the football conversation. We come back, and you can jump in to the conversation always in the chat room. Also on Twitter, Next Round Live, Next Round Live. The chat room's on YouTube. Also over on Facebook where you get that. Also, you can always email the show like our boy Philip did from Huntsville. We were talking about Trevor Lawrence yesterday, and I was like, God, I remember some people saying they didn't think Trevor Lawrence would be very good. Maybe JD in Huntsville was one of them. I thought Philip in Huntsville was. Philip emailed after the show. He goes, thanks for remembering me, Jimmy. I still listen to the show all the time. I don't email as much as I used to. I'm glad you remembered my emails. I heard you give me a shout out. He goes, truthfully, I don't remember ever thinking Trevor would not be good in the NFL, so it wasn't me that. Yeah, I'd love to take credit, but I don't remember.
I thought Trevor would be good, and what's weird is we've seen Trevor look really, really good. It's just like his confidence is completely broken right now.
Can I just go ahead?
He's played good football.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Just not in his last year and a half.
I think it was Paul on Twitter is who you might be thinking of that used to tell us way back in the radio days, guys, he throws a lot of 50-50 balls and receivers bail him out.
Yeah, great receivers back then at Clemson. Hydra Live bringing you this part of the show as we continue the conversation today.
Yeah, IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. Our quarterback, our man Daniel Jones, came in last Friday, gave us some bags, some B12 shots. They also want to remind you, if you're tired of feeling stuck in your weight loss goals, discover a personalized approach that works with Hydra Life Therapy's weight loss therapy. Hydra Life combines hydration therapy with targeted weight loss treatments. They provide a comprehensive approach to weight management. You can book an appointment online, hydralifetherapy.com. Walk-ins welcome, very important. Mention the next round, 20% off any of these great services. 2 locations to serve you in Birmingham, Homewood, Highway 119, right there in Greystone. Also Tuscaloosa, very important. Mention the next round, 20% off the great services. For more information, hydralifetherapy.com.
A fumble for me, you remember when we do Grace Trees later on, I made a mistake. I did not let Tyler give me the viewing menu before we mentioned New Life Art, newlifeart.com with Daniel A. Moore. What are you watching tonight? Please tell me you're watching the new streaming on Netflix about Vince McMahon.
I am not.
Okay.
I'm not a big wrestling guy, so
Please tell me.
I did see where that starts tonight.
It does.
Have you ever seen this movie with Aubrey Plaza, Emily the Criminal?
I have not seen that.
Oh,
one.
I want to see that.
It's really good. I think it was from like 2023, but I randomly, it's like a short watch, like an hour 38. I watched it late last night, and I thought it was really, really well done. Chick that owes a bunch of student loans gets involved with a criminal ring.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was good.
What are you watching, though, Tyler?
All right, we've got 2 new shows tonight. We've got Grotesquerie, which is on FX.
And Travis Kelce's in this, right?
Yes.
Which means they really don't care about their content at all.
Yes, that is correct.
I mean, and how many people, you can count on one hand how many people will tune in because Travis Kelce's in this, right?
No, I think all the Swifties will be
big
showing
in Kansas
up.
City.
Hey, you guys will laugh. If Sean McVay was in one of these shows, I would not watch it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, if just all the Swifties turn in, it'll be the #1 review show of the year.
I'll tell you, outside of the final season, the worst moment in Game of Thrones history was the cameo by Ed Sheeran. There are some such unneeded things. If Grotesque is going to be one of these horrible shows, then so be it. But if you want to have any credibility with your show at all, you don't cast a guy like Travis Kelce.
What else are you watching?
There's a remake, or it's a sequel series of Everybody Hates Chris. Everybody still hates Chris. A lot of the original cast is reprising their roles, and this will be a sequel to the original sitcom.
I saw Chris Rock said he was back, and he was very proud about that on social media last night. Funny guy. Like him a lot.
And
all right.
We've also got in theaters, if you want to see this, you've got to catch it today or tomorrow before it leaves. It's the 10th anniversary re-release of Whiplash with Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons.
It is a masterpiece.
It
really
masterpiece.
is. It's a masterpiece. Yeah,
This is the drummer?
Yeah, completely flawless.
The drummer?
Yep.
Okay.
Incredible.
I remember that one.
J.K. Simmons, it's flawless.
Wow. Yeah.
It really is.
Hard coaching right there. Wouldn't work in the NIL world. Michael here in the state of Alabama, hit it up. What's up, Michael?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, man.
How are you?
Good. How do you guys think they should stick with Hank Brown and go to Peyton Thorne?
Oh, Peyton Thorne, 100%, Michael. What about you?
Probably give Hank another chance.
You
I've heard
give Hank?
different stuff.
Yeah. All right, Michael, thank you.
I said he would give Hank another chance. Hank's going to get another chance.
Yeah, I don't know if you run different stuff, though. The offense is the offense. I mean, it's like you can't change who you are right now. You're mid-season.
Peyton Thorne. Peyton Thorne the rest of the way for me.
Well, Peyton Thorne, especially in this game, because you are playing. I mean, you saw the closing speed on some of Hank's throws last week, and now you're playing what is a much better defense in Arkansas and Oklahoma. This Oklahoma defense, like their offense is garbage right now, and I don't know if they're ever going to find that. But this defense, and until they maybe tap out just by the simple fact that they've lost 3, 4, 5 games, this defense is elite.
I was discussing that with what I think might be a casual. And he was like, I don't think Oklahoma's that good. I was like, you do realize Tennessee's offense was on a historic SEC start. Nobody had ever done it. Now, they played crap, but they were on a historic SEC start. And that Oklahoma defense, with zero help from their offense, they were on the field all night long. In fact,
tongues wagging.
It felt like every time they made a big play, Jackson Arnold went out and said, here's the ball back.
Yeah.
You know,
you guys don't take your helmets off.
I'm going to give it back to them. I was like, they got no help from their offense, and they throttled that Tennessee offense down to, 25 points? 25 points and less yardage than they've had in a half.
Yeah, and I will say that Heupel took the gas off. I think we talked about this on Monday. He definitely did, and I think it showed some maturity in his coaching. I probably, in that situation, I know Dunaway, top right-hand drawer, I probably would have popped a couple extra on.
Yeah. Throw in the end zone late.
But I do still think, I mean, even if you hold this Tennessee, it's almost a win if you can hold Tennessee under 38 points. Maybe even under 40 points. I think this Tennessee offense is just that good.
They are. I do too. I tabbed them my number one team in the country going into this weekend. Of course, Alabama could change my thoughts on that with a win on Saturday against Georgia.
I do think the winner of that game will be the number one team in the nation.
Would not surprise me. It would be the best win so far. If you can give me cut 4, Tyler, I appreciate it, man. Cut 4, Eugene Asante. I think he becomes, we talk quarterbacks all the time. I have the belief that Asante is about to eat this week against that Oklahoma offensive line. With Michael Hawkins Jr., the youngster out there for Oklahoma in his first start, everything that Arkansas confused Hank Brown on and pressured Hank Brown on, Eugene Asante is about to do that to Michael Hawkins Jr. Here's Eugene yesterday.
It's a crazy thing because when you watch the tape, I communicated in the group chat right after the game, and I was just telling the guys that we're so close. And, people may not see that, but it's just we're so close to being the team that we want to be, and it's self-inflicted. It's nothing that our opponents are doing to us. It's all self-inflicted. It's all in the moments, big moments. We lose focus or just forget. I don't understand our assignment in the time, or maybe the moment's too big or something. It's all self-inflicted, and we want guys to understand that we're beating ourselves and we need to cut on it.
You coming after WSFA this week?
No.
Okay.
But that I did. Their sports director happened to be by here yesterday. Rosie swung by yesterday, and I did take a screenshot when I saw that last night, and I said, barely inside the zone from us killing it this week. That seemed to be a little far away.
So everybody likes to talk about, this so-and-so team was in so many one-possession games in SEC play. It's a little bit like the NFL.
It is.
You get to the end of the NFL season, how many one-possession games do you think a given team has been in? Out of 17
I would say
games,
out of 17, 12, 13.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a one-possession game every week. And most of the SEC is like that. Now, Alabama and Georgia have separated themselves a little bit over the past couple of years, and they play fewer one-possession games. But Dunaway, when you get from 4 to 16, you're going to play a lot of one-possession games.
Yep.
So to what Eugene Asante said, if you're just a tick off, that's going to show up in the SEC because most games are going to be one-possession games.
Just takes one bad play.
That's right. And I was talking to somebody again this morning, a college football fan.
You've been busy
I was busy this morning, man.
You've been talking.
I had to catch up on a lot of stuff from yesterday.
Talk to a casual, a young, and a football fan.
A young, a casual, and a football fan.
Yeah.
My wife had a surgical procedure yesterday, so I appreciate you guys doing the show without me yesterday. But it ate up a lot of my day, as you can imagine. So I was returning some phone calls, people checking on her.
Right.
And she's doing great.
The chat room
fantastic.
sent their love yesterday.
Thank you very much to the mybookie.ag chat room. Can always count on them. She's back home today, doing great. Everything's fine. It was planned. Just the date had to get changed for various reasons, so I had to be out yesterday. That said, that's why I was returning a lot of calls this morning. And he was like, do you think Auburn, he said, State's obviously the worst team of the SEC. Do you think Auburn is 15th? I said, you can make an argument. I said, but I know Hugh's getting blasted for this. Auburn's a better team than Arkansas.
Yes. So back to the nine out of 10.
I don't
know that they win 9 out of 10, but I mean, they're a better football team than Arkansas.
The quarterback Peyton Thorne yesterday made it sound like they'd win maybe 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it's more like
he wasn't as confident. I mean,
I think it's more like 6 out of 10. I'd go 6 and 4.
It's just hard for me to say that. I know it was 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
You're still playing at home and you lose by double digits.
I get it, but I think
and Taylor Green is light years ahead of anything they've got at quarterback.
He is, but he's still not great.
No, he's not.
He can't throw the ball.
No, but he can make it up with those legs.
He can. He's
now
a good
look,
runner.
and the second half of that was like, it's hard for me to say that because I actually saw the game and results have to matter.
It does.
But I don't think Hugh Freeze, I don't think 9 out of 10 is correct. But if they played 10 times, I think Auburn wins the majority of them.
Well, here's an exercise Brock Hewitt always does, and this would be difficult to do. But he's like the old playground. If you've got Auburn and Arkansas and you've got to draft quarterback, you've got to draft defensive end, like how many of the 22 would be from Auburn? How many would be from Arkansas? I think it'd be pretty split. I really do.
I think more from Auburn, but it may be pretty split. If you had to throw in quarterback, I think those receivers would have looked a little bit better for Auburn than what Arkansas has. You know what I'm saying?
I think their receivers are better. Jaquindon Jackson's definitely the best back of the group, and I think Taylor is the better quarterback. With all that said, that's a game you still can't lose.
I agree completely.
Yeah. Can I just say, if Hugh had said this, 9 out of 10 times, Austin doesn't fumble that football in that situation right there.
Right.
That's a touchdown for us. And I feel that's a true statement.
That is a true statement.
Right. 9 out of 10 times, that's not a fumble. He's not going to fumble that.
That is correct.
Or 9 out of 10 times, if we don't turn the ball over 5 times in a game like that, we win it.
That's right.
Or 9 out of 10 times. Well, you can't even say that because it's happened twice now in the last few games.
You was really 2 out of 4.
I was going to say 9 out of 10 times. If we rush 3 and drop 8, they're not going to throw it over us because we know not to let anybody get behind us, but that happened in the game on Saturday.
You think Hugh could gaslight, as the kids would say?
Oh, he could, absolutely, yeah. But my point in bringing that up was, okay, let's just say they're equal teams, right? Auburn is in a position where they can't afford one mental mistake, much less a game full of them.
Yeah, especially against the opponents that are on the horizon for them, especially defensively.
Here's the problem now is I don't think these quarterbacks, whoever it is, and we know it's going to be Peyton on that Saturday, I don't know if you can play loose. Like, I think you worry about tight windows. You worry about things that you might not have played, you might not have worried about before. You hold the ball a little bit too long. This is just it's going to become a massive problem, I think, for Auburn this year.
If you want to continue the Auburn conversation, we can do that after I tell you about a couple of great folks. One of them, the folks at the Pan Store, Birmingham, Huntsville, Leeds, Tuscaloosa, Auburn locations, multiple locations all over the great state of Alabama. Your game day headquarters, Bama and Auburn gear with the polos, the hats, and the quarter zips from name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, and Gentile. And ladies, they got the stuff for you there as well. The rompers, the dresses, and everything you need there, including brands of footwear like Hoka and New Balance and all the Western boots you want. And the holidays are coming up. You got free alterations. You got free gift wrapping. And nothing says Roll Tide and War Eagle like the Pan Store. Panstore.com, panstore.com. LT, also our friend Dr. B, still working for you and Browning.
Absolutely. When I first went to see Dr. B, I had no idea I was thinning out. Dr. B said, you're the perfect candidate. We're going to maintain what you've got. We'll even grow some back. The hair on the top of my head is more than doubled in thickness since I started the non-invasive treatment, which I do 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. Dr. B pioneered the use of NeoGraft hair restoration right here in Alabama, remains at the forefront of hair preservation in the Southeast. Dr. B takes pride in treating each patient personally, applying his expertise to produce those quality results. To schedule a consultation to see if you are a candidate, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, t3hair.net.
All right, DJ Shockley coming up at 10:30 Central on the show. Of course, he's talking Georgia and Alabama. Andy Staples with us at 11 o'clock talking about everything going on in college football, including the Sluka story, but a heavy focus on Georgia and Alabama as well, Brownie.
Yeah, my point in bringing that up was not really to debate if Auburn's better than Arkansas. My point was Auburn, I think by any objective measurement, is best case lower half of the SEC right now, right? Any objective measurement, they're lower half of the SEC.
Oh, yes.
Probably lower third of the SEC.
How many? Well, give me the number on that. 5.5. So it'd have to be in the bottom 5.5 of the league, 5 1/3 of the league.
I mean, would you agree with that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Right. So you're going to be in.
We should own it. None of us thought they'd be there.
No,
okay.
Not at all. Not at all. Now, I didn't think they'd be top half either. So they're not far away from where I thought
Auburn?
they'd be. Yeah.
I thought Auburn could be a sleeper team. I really did in year 2 with Hugh Freeze.
Sleeper like 9 wins.
Yeah.
But we're
not getting there, Lance.
We did talk. I mean, you talked throughout the offseason as well about them getting to 9 wins.
I thought they could, yes.
Yeah.
I thought the number was 7 or 8, but I thought there was a path to 9. I am going to be wrong probably about all those.
Well, if they get to 9, he could be your National Coach of the Year.
Well, from this point on.
I just want you guys to own it when you say something.
Okay, Jim, I'll own it. Where did you have them?
Oh, I had them at 8 or 9 wins.
Okay, so you'll own it too.
I'm the one that started the conversation about owning it.
Yes, okay. So my point was going to be, if you're playing in the bottom third of the SEC, which I think objectively most people think Auburn is, or even the bottom half, it really doesn't matter if it's half or third, you are going to be in a ton of one-score games. So what Eugene Asante said there either scares you to death or gives you a little hope. Like, can you clean these things up? In theory, yes. But if you don't, you're going to be 4 and 8 probably.
Yeah, and I tell you a team that was lost and it was different last year was Oklahoma State after the basically first month of the season. And they were able to really get it cooking with Ollie Gordon, but that was in the Big 12. I just don't see a turnaround like this.
Yeah, okay, so baseball real quickly, because if we don't get to it now, we will not get to it. Just the feel of the show, we still have sneaky good game, 4 downs, DJ Shockley, Andy Staples, trash still to come today. But last night, Padres beat the Dodgers on a triple play to end the game. You don't end that. A walk-off triple play.
Yes. Weird way to finish.
2 back with 5 to play, but the Padres clinched the playoff spots. Dodgers already in, so not really a whole big situation there. Aaron Judge hit his 56th home run in a loss for the Orioles. Orioles clinch a playoff spot. They're in back-to-back playoffs for the first time since 96 and 97. By the way, cool picture from the celebration that Forrester showed me earlier. What was it, bird bath or what? The young Jackson Holiday he's only 20. So he can't drink the hard stuff. So at least on camera he can't. Bird bath water, the non-alcoholic celebratory drink that they were drinking there.
How much younger does he look in that photo? I mean, I know he's young, but he looks like a teenager.
Yeah, he basically is.
That's true. He's not that far away, is he?
He probably just turned 20 the other day.
Like mid-teens. Like, hey, kid, did you drive yourself to the park? No, Mom brought me.
Jackson Holiday there with the bird bath water, by the way, which is a horrible name.
Yeah, really.
It's a horrible name.
What's that taste like?
Yeah, no offense, but that's a horrible name. I saw Livy Dunn of LSU. This is sickening. It is sickening. I'll tell you that up front. But her and Angel Reese do a podcast.
Okay.
And Angel asked her, I saw this on TikTok last night. Angel asked her, what's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked? And she was like, well, I can't say all of them, but I can tell you that many, many times I've had people ask me to send them my bathwater.
I've heard the phrase, I drink her bathwater. I mean, I think you've probably all uttered that phrase.
They laughed. They're like, I saw that girl. You know, Angel's like, I saw that girl. I don't understand that. And she's like, I don't either. And she says, I've played off of it a couple of times, just jokingly.
Juice probably
that's why that's a horrible name for the bird bathwater.
Juice probably not worth the squeeze on that shipment there, but they're never going to know if it was bathwater or not. It's any water in a bottle.
Anyway, so you wanted to make a point about the Braves who get the win last night. By the way, Astros also clinched again.
And that's their, fourth straight AL West title?
It is their 4th straight AL West title. A little history here. Last time somebody won the AL West 4 straight times. 1971 to 75, Oakland Athletics. Yeah,
how about that?
It's crazy because the Astros, I think, were 7-19. They were 10 back at one point this season.
We stabbed them. They were done. They were done.
My point on the Braves is, so you're not going to believe this, but I was on the phone with someone earlier today. They're going to the game tonight. They got tickets. They're going to the game. And he was like, I don't even know if they're going to play. It's probably not going to happen.
What did he do, by the way?
That
Because
was
it's rain
the point.
today.
All right, so it's rain today, and I think tomorrow looks even worse all across the South because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
And then they got to be out of town Friday.
Yeah, take them to Mercedes, man. Realign it.
Play a homer ball in Mercedes-Benz.
Short portion left.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
And I was like, this actually sets up what could be a super exciting day. Like, they could have to come back Monday and play a doubleheader. And based on what the Diamondbacks do, that could be a doubleheader where winner is in the actual playoffs, loser is in the play-in game. It could be a doubleheader where winners in the play-in game, loser is done for the year.
Could be a doubleheader playoff.
Could be a doubleheader for the home field for the single game. Like you could play 2 in Atlanta and then go right back up to New York the next day and play 1 or whatever. I mean, like there's any set of possibilities for that doubleheader. And I'm like, I hate to pull for rain delays, but I'd kind of like to see that Monday. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Would you consider, though, if you looking at the forecast, would you consider, if you are Major League Baseball and the Braves would have to agree to it, I'm sure, would you consider moving these games to Houston or wherever you've got places to close the dome? Tampa, you wouldn't want to bang it around the Raptors there.
Yeah, there's no way the Braves.
I wouldn't do it if I'm the Braves.
Yeah, it's such. I mean, to lose home field for the 2 most important games you've played all year. Yeah.
It is interesting because it's hard to imagine they're going to play baseball tonight or tomorrow in Atlanta, Georgia. But that's a great point there. The Braves did get the win last night to keep the hope alive. 6:20 tonight with hurricane, tropical storm, Helene coming in. Chris Sale is supposed to start, so you feel good about the Braves tonight. 18-game winner there on the hill in a crucial, crucial game. Top of the hour here before LT tells us about our friends at Hemp Hill. Yesterday on the golf course, I don't know if Forster has this or not, but met a guy from Baltimore, Carlton, who's in town for the Bama-Georgia game. And he dropped his glove walking up to the 17th tee box, or actually the 8th on the brook out there at Bent Brook, one of our great sponsors. And I scooped it up with my sand wedge because, of course, I was in the sand. And I walk it over to him on the tee box, and I said, "Hey, sir, did you drop the glove?" This is Carlton right here, decked in his Alabama gear. He says, "I did." And as I walk away,
that guy's from Baltimore?
Yeah, as I walk away, he's in town for the Bama-Georgia game. He was born here, but has lived in Baltimore for a couple of decades now. As I walk away, he goes, "I know who you are. I watch you guys all the time."
How about that?
He goes, "I watch you and listen to you all the time on the radio, or the internet, whatever you guys call it, on the next round."
Yeah, we call it whatever you're listening to. Don't worry about it.
And you know me, I didn't go, "Well, thank you, man," and keep walking. I turned around and was like, "Hey, talk to me, my man.
Carlton, what's up?"
And it turns out,
were you playing by yourself?
No, I had my buddies. They were on the green waiting on me. There was nobody behind us.
Let's take away to
Yeah. He's in one of those moods today. So we go up, and he knows Sean, lacrosse coach, who came by and saw us at Ocean City, and he doesn't live far from Ocean City, the resort up there.
How about that?
The resort.
I had a random dream about Ocean City the other night. You just saying that reminded me. Yeah.
How about that? So thank you, Carlton, Bama Nation that's in town for the big Georgia-Alabama game. We're back in a moment on the show that's being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill, LT.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. If you have any of those in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters. It is the will to prepare to win." Hi, I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryant Bank, and I can tell you that our Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that is right for you. At Bryant Bank, we specialize in community banking and offer personal and business loans, checking and savings account, mobile banking, and treasury management services. Stop by one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama to find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Our friends at Milo's Hamburger invites you to join them in the fight against hunger in our local communities by bringing non-perishable food items to your local Milo's, including canned goods. When you donate a canned good or any non-perishable food item, Milo's will give you a free drink. Together, we can make a difference.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool-Raid, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 of the show as we continue on here. Our friends at NASCAR bringing you part of the show today. Don't forget the racing coming back to Talladega, world's fastest speedway. 2.66 miles. You wouldn't want a weather day like today or tomorrow because they won't have rain tires at 200 miles per hour and windshield wipers. Would you need windshield wipers at 200 miles per hour, or would it just blow off the windshield?
Well, I think that makes it worse. Like when the rain,
bad.
Yeah, like spider webs or whatever when it hits.
Yeah, I don't think you would need the wipers. I think it would just.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it would just blow off there. Especially if you had that spray that you put on it. What's it called? The windshield spray, what's it called? Water shield or something.
I don't know.
Not an endorsement, obviously.
Obviously, don't even know the name.
Scott says Rain-X.
Rain-X. That is exactly right. Scott is correct on that, Tyler.
Not an endorsement. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to upgrade into the immersive garage experience where you can see them work on the cars right there. Pre-race, and when they get wrecked, they come rolling back in there, have a cocktail, and said, man, you got a bumper issue back there. They love that. Right there, the garage experience presented by Cool-Raid, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. All right, a little Georgia-Alabama talk here as we get ready for the big game. Jalen Milroe, after last year's game, commented in the post-game locker room on radio shows and other opportunities about how he saw a little quit, basically, paraphrasing, in the Georgia players' eyes in last year's SEC championship game. And if you go listen to the folks, you know Kirby likes to find a little motivational point. If you listen to a couple of Georgia players, Dylan Fairchild and Malachi Starks yesterday, Jalen Milroe his comments may be on their mind in Athens, Georgia before they come to Tuscaloosa. Here's Dylan and Malachi.
How much is the team aware of comments made by Jalen Milroe after the game last year about how he felt the team quit during the game?
Yeah, I mean, we're aware for sure. We're aware. Yeah, Dylan was just telling us that the team is aware of what Jalen Milroe said about you guys quitting in last year's SEC championship.
Yeah.
Just how much motivation does that provide this defense?
Yeah, I think, it is what it is. I think, that's this kind of defense we got. We're a very competitive defense. We believe that we're very strong and physical and fast, and that's how we play the game of football. You come to Georgia to play defense, and I think that's what it is. And like they have a great offense, so we got back to work for sure. It's not really a thing that we try to harp on too much. We just want to go out there and be the best defense that we can be.
You heard it, and the Fairchild one was a good coach speak answer from Malachi, but Fairchild's. Yeah.
I don't think you need any of this cluttered motivation.
Georgia seems to usually thrive off of it.
Like AU Chase says, the MyBookie.ag chat room. Kirby says, "Hey, Jalen Milroe says y'all gonna be 7-5 this year." That's Kirby's
I mean, I could see it, but I mean, obviously coming off a bye, the way they played in Lexington, people are not believing this Georgia team's as good. And I said this yesterday on Bam and Bourbon. I think the narrative can go in a million directions coming out of this game. I really do. I think, first of all, the winner of this game is probably going to be your number one team nationally. I think if Kirby loses, it's going to become an Alabama problem. It's going to become, can he beat teams with like rosters? It's going to become, is this a Georgia team that is just having one of these off years? Because if they lose to Alabama, I saw where their playoff odds dropped to 60%. It's like 92% if they win, 60% if they lose. I think Alabama's like 96% if they win and like 67% if they lose. On the Alabama side, people are going to be like, holy hell, this Kalen DeBoer guy is legit.
Not missing a beat. I mean, that's what the narrative is going to be. All right, not missing a beat. If we can beat Georgia, who can we not beat?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of different directions this thing can go. But I think the game is much more important for Georgia and for Kirby Smart.
Yeah, I do think it is fascinating. Normally, in a situation like this, you would say it's 100% more important for Kalen DeBoer. He's the new coach. He's not the established coach. This is his opportunity to show his fan base there will not be a beat missed. I know Nick Saban's the greatest of all time, but I am able to keep this program at an elite level, and I've just proven that by beating the team that everybody says has been the best team other than us over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Who's got a better roster than us? Georgia does. If anybody, it's Georgia. We just beat them.
If anybody, we just beat them. But this is not normal because, to Lance's point, I think Georgia fans in the back of their mind, I think they'll tell you Kirby Smart had a Nick Saban problem. But in the back of their mind, they wonder, was it a Nick Saban problem or an Alabama problem? And that we get maybe a small answer to that Saturday night.
Well, and I feel really good that Alabama's got an elite offense. I feel like Georgia's still got an elite defense. I really don't know much about Georgia's offense. I said in the offseason I thought big problems could be Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers and trying to figure out who will fill those shoes. A lot of people said, hey, look, he just reloads, he restocks. But we really haven't seen great skill guys under Kirby Smart at Georgia. I think he's got a really good quarterback. I don't really know how good their offense is, and I really don't know how good Alabama's defense is yet.
Alabama's got the best receiver in this game, which is crazy to think about.
Yep.
This is Ryan Williams, right?
Right.
Is that who you're
I don't
saying?
know if you heard, he's young, but I mean,
does he drink the bird bathwater?
He would drink bird bathwater if he were a Baltimore Oriole today, but I mean, they got the best receiver in this game. I mean, I don't know that that's debatable right now, the way he's playing.
Yeah. We got our Inverness Country Club sound of the day coming from Jalen Milroe off of the conversation that people are having. He's not going to talk about those comments from last year. He's going to talk about the game coming up this weekend. Inverness Country Club can get you ready for just an enjoyable time, a chapter in your life. When you got a young family, you're starting out, business is good, life is good. Why not enjoy yourself with our friends at Inverness Country Club?
Yeah, find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. They've got memberships that fit everyone. Maybe you relocated or retired. Inverness, great place to network, from the social membership to the golf membership. Childcare, also a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis. Guess what? You can drop the kid, go have yourself a day on the court or course. Dinner with friends, knowing your kid is safe on site. Massive plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour of this unbelievable club, call Aaron today, 205-991-8608, or online, iccalabama.com.
And, of course, injury-wise going into this big game, Rousseau still optimistic about him. Malachi is practicing. Cole Adams is doing some work. So Alabama may be back close to 100%. We'll see where Russaw is, but they're optimistic on that. You can be optimistic about your rehab with our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. The tweaks, the pulls, the pains, the breaks. They diagnose it, they treat it, and they rehab it. That's the best part. They take you from the beginning until you're back to 100% with our friends at Precision Sports Medicine, the trusted name in Jasper and in Fultondale and Alabaster and Birmingham and all around the central Alabama area. It's orthopedic care better together. Find your provider, 205-512-3885, or visit PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. Jalen Milroe here on the opportunity ahead for Alabama.
No, 100%. As a recruit, you always, dreamt of moments like this. To play in great atmospheres, great games, and play SEC ball. This is our first test in the SEC, and so it's a great opportunity for us as a football team to have this game. And it's so important for us to just have fun, play fast, free, and fearless, and just acknowledge that it's going to be a hard task and it's going to take 60 minutes of football.
And before we jump into what we expect from Alabama's offense, you said it was, elite offense versus elite defense. One concern out there, Jalen addresses it here, is it has been so explosive plays, so big plays. Kirby talked about it yesterday on the show, 50-yard touchdowns, 60-yard touchdowns, 70-yard touchdowns. There is some concern of whether or not this team can drive the football on extended drives over and over again against a challenging defense, and Jalen answered that question yesterday.
I think what's so important is acknowledging that it takes 60 minutes. In these games, you can't just have one good quarter. You have to keep stacking good drives, stacking good quarters, and always have the one-and-oh mentality. I think that's so important. There's going to be so many external factors that take place in the football game that, we have to build on. No matter what goes on, we can't flinch. And there's going to be so many moments as a group where we can have growth moments and improve throughout a game, and it's so important. And it's all about using the resources with our coaches, communication within the players, and just trying to build as much as possible, because I think that's so important when you play in the SEC play, because everybody's good in the SEC. A lot of great teams, and it's going to be so important. We just hone in on just having the mindset of one.
Okay, so those 6, 7, 8, 9 play drives where it's not, you take the scores any way you want. But I think there is some concern that when you start playing the best defenses like Georgia, that those 50-yard, 60-yard, 70-yard touchdowns aren't going to come as often, or consistency. You need to do the little things to be able to have those 8, 9, 10-yard plays.
I disagree. I think explosive plays, when you've got the playmakers Alabama, those are key against elite defenses. I think it's so much more difficult to have the methodical drives against Georgia's. So this is exactly what you want if you're Alabama, where you can at any point, again, 12 different players have at least one explosive play from this Alabama offense. And I fully expect Georgia hasn't given up a touchdown in 6 quarters. If you go back to 16 quarters, SEC championship game against Alabama, the last time this defense gave up a touchdown, I do think Alabama will find a way to have explosive plays even against an elite defense.
You want me to give you the mind-blowing stat of the day? You got a sponsor for that, the mind-blowing stat of the day?
Yeah, you can tell me about Johnson RV after the mind-blowing stat of the day.
Missouri leads the Southeastern Conference in total plays on offense. Everybody's played 4 games except for Alabama and Georgia, so stick with me here. Missouri's run 311. Tennessee's run 310, and Arkansas's run 310. Ole Miss has run 303. Alabama and Georgia are 15th and 16th. Now, they got one fewer game, but still 189 and 175.
To your point, they're not going to run 100 plays.
I don't think they're going to catch up with Missouri in this game. So Alabama and Georgia's got fewer plays than Alabama. I mean, people talk about Alabama doesn't sustain these drives, and it's a bunch of Georgia's actually run fewer plays this season than Alabama. They've gained fewer yards this season in Alabama. Georgia doesn't exactly go out there and grind out 18 play drives themselves. They haven't done that at all this year. That's not the way Georgia's playing either.
Yeah, I don't know who that receiver is. Maybe it's Dominic Lovett.
He's their leading receiver.
I do think Mike Bobo is going to give Carson Beck a lot of opportunities to take shots against the secondary. Yeah. Now, whether or not Alabama can get pressure on him, and whether or not you've got guys that can stretch the field, we have yet to see that with Georgia. We'll see, but I do think Carson Beck's going to take some shots.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center. You can always find them online, johnstonrvcenter.com. And they want you to go see America this fall there at Johnston RV Center. So they got some great deals for you right now. Travel trailers as low as $145 a month. $145 a month to get you in a travel trailer. It's a great deal. How about Fifth Wheel? You pull that behind you, $45,000 and more in savings there. RV warranty forever. Make sure you've got a lifetime warranty on everything new and qualifying pre-owned at Johnston RV Center. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Our 4 downs coming up in just a second before we get to DJ Shockley. But I did want to give a shout out to Alex Scarborough. I didn't know this. And I try to read everything, hear everything. And I don't think this is one of those things that Jim just forgot. But I did not know Kane Womack got a call from the Alabama coaching staff back in 2020 before Alabama played Ohio State. And he gave Alabama a little help on their game plan before they played Ohio State. Kane Womack was the defensive coordinator at Indiana. He had intercepted 3 interceptions in the Indiana game against Ohio State. So the Alabama coaching staff said, Kane, explain to us what you were doing against Ohio State. Maybe we want to work that into our game plan.
Do you know why you should have remembered that?
Why?
Because Kane was on the show talking about it.
Was it? I don't remember it.
Listen, I do this all the time. Like, we do a lot of shows, and it's 3, 4, whatever hours a day, and you can forget a lot of things. But, yeah, we had Kane on the show talking about it.
Since we've been on this platform?
No. It was between the end of the season and Alabama playing Ohio State.
Yeah.
Kane was on with us.
So back the end of our pandemic, into the pandemic radio days. Because that was 2020 we're talking about here.
I felt like we were in studio when it happened.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Kane
was on the show
though.
Yeah,
Kane was on the show discussing it.
Yeah,
so I'll just put it that way. Yeah.
I don't remember that whole period of time.
I know it is. It does wash over you, but yeah, he was. I think, popular to talk to then because Indiana at the time had defended Ohio State about as well as anybody had that year.
3 interceptions in that game. Yeah,
and that was 3 interceptions on C.J. Stroud, right?
Yep.
I mean, that was the quarterback, C.J. Stroud.
Yep, in that national championship game.
Did he have 3 picks?
Well, I'm saying Indiana did. Yeah, that was why he was on. Yeah.
And that's why they wanted Womack. Alex Scarborough revisiting that nugget. And then,
as James says in the mybookie.ag chat room, trust me, Golding needed all the help he could get in that game.
He did. He absolutely did. All right, we'll get to our 4 downs coming up a little bit later on in the show. That is being brought to you in part right now by our friends at Milo's, feeding that food vacuum that we have in our state right now. It's such a good piece of work that they're doing right now.
Hey, look, what is better than a Milo's burger? The answer would be 100 Milo's burgers. You can get that easily done through their catering right now. Catering options range from individualized box lunches, ideal for any work or team gathering, to customize, build your own burger bars, chicken sandwich bars, which will be a hit at any tailgate. Use the special offer right now. They're offering $10 off your first time catering order this fall. Enter the code catering10, that's all caps, catering10 when you order Milo's Catering through Milo's mobile app. To learn more about Milo's catering options, please visit miloshamburgers.com/catering. That is miloshamburgers.com/catering. Stay saucy.
All right. Interesting thing happening when it comes to television ratings. Before Brown tells us about how good Friday night was on Fox, and a great atmosphere in Lincoln, Nebraska. And the stadium looked beautiful under the lights.
It did.
And you could see downtown Lincoln and the campus out one end of the stadium. It was just a beautiful setting. The aerials were great. You come off of that great sold-out setting, 400 consecutive sellouts, and great TV ratings that Brown's about to tell us about. Immediately after that, on Monday, it has come out that Nebraska Athletic Director Troy Dannon has sent a request to the Big Ten never to host a Friday night game again in Lincoln, except on Black Fridays. We're okay to do it on Black Fridays. We don't want to host any weeknight games in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Does he give reasoning? Is it because of high school football, did he say?
High school football, but mostly because of its great fans with 400 consecutive sellouts. They enjoy the Saturday games, the ability to get there off of work, the problems it causes on campus when you have an on-campus stadium that's working that way. For every reason, Alabama and Auburn don't want to play them on Thursday or Friday night.
But here's the problem. I think Fox has hit gold with these things, Lance. Friday night's the new Thursday night.
It is. And these Friday night games have been fantastic.
They have been, and Fox is not going to go away from this because they're getting big ratings. To Dunaway's point.
And I think you've got a possibility. I mean, really, both could line up. Like, Miami's a massive favorite just because Virginia Tech's already got 2 losses, and Miami has completely dominated their opponents. But you could, if Virginia Tech plays an A game, you could get an interesting game in Coral Gables. And then Washington-Rutgers should be a really good game.
Nothing that goes to Illinois, Nebraska last week, which gave you great TV ratings.
Yeah, but now see, that's on ESPN. So Fox has got the Rutgers,
Washington-Rutgers.
So we're going to have dueling Friday night games. We did not have that Friday night, right? There was no ESPN Friday night game.
Yeah, I think there was. There were 3 games, 2 at the same time and 1 late.
So last week, your TV ratings this past week, USC Michigan was number 1, 6.3 million. Just a shade under that was Tennessee at Oklahoma, hurt by the one-sided nature of that game. USC Michigan went down to the final play.
But you know, I never felt like, I mean, Tennessee dominated. I never felt like Oklahoma was going to win the game.
Oklahoma never had a chance.
But it never got to never felt like a blowout situation for me.
But pretty, I'd say mid second quarter, I knew Tennessee was winning that game. Because even when they happened to turn it over, Oklahoma gave it right back to them every time.
Yeah,
it never felt like that.
Never felt like that. Tennessee, Oklahoma, 6.27 million, so just a shade behind. Your number 3 game, Illinois and Nebraska, 4.21 million, had more viewers than Baylor, Colorado, UCLA, LSU, Florida, Mississippi State, Marshall, Ohio State, Utah, Oklahoma State. A little bit surprising that did that poorly. That was a big game. Arkansas, Auburn, NC State, Clemson, all those games.
What was the Arkansas Auburn number?
2 million. Ooh. 2 million people watched that.
That's a down window. That ABC window has been killing it. And that was an ABC game, right? Arkansas Auburn, 2:30. It was part of the all-day ABC. They usually run the triple header.
Was it ESPN or ABC? I don't know what I was watching. Yeah. I was just watching. I don't know if I was watching ABC or ESPN. I think I was watching
ESPN. I think.
Yeah. But Fox will not go away from this. You mentioned what they have. Next week, they've got Michigan State at Oregon. I don't know how good a game that's going to be, but it's the Oregon brand on Friday night.
If State plays Ohio State close or pulls an upset, it'll be massive numbers.
Well, I think the interesting thing in that game, just jumping ahead, is you do have familiarity when you look at Jonathan Smith against Oregon.
Yeah.
And, you know, first year Big Ten, I don't think there's any expectation for them to win that game, but who knows?
Yeah, that's a week from now. This week, Michigan State gets Ohio State, and Oregon gets a sleepy trip to Pasadena to take on UCLA. We'll take our trip to talk to DJ Shockley coming up in the next segment. His thoughts from the SEC Network and, of course, Atlanta-based radio and TV about Georgia and Alabama. Show being brought to you today by our friends at A+, the folks that changed the inside of Brown and LT's house. Tell us about A+.
A+ Tile Home Remodeling. That's who it is, Jimmy D. And they can change your house, too. What Brad Bell and his crew specialize in, master bath remodels, kitchen remodels, and master bedroom closets. You can find all of that when you call my guy Brad Bell, 205-422-1758. Scott is showing you some before and afters of the Brown house. Our bathroom wasn't terrible, but we just wanted it more updated. We came in, we gave Brad a vision. He didn't try to sell us on his vision. He took ours, and he made it come to life. Lance was like, man, that looks good. I need to do mine, too. When you see Lance's, you notice his is the exact opposite vision. He went darker to lighter. We went lighter to darker. That just shows you Brad's not hooked on one thing. He's going to do it the way you want it done. Lance even had his kitchen done. He enjoyed his work so much in the master bath. Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom closets is what Brad specializes in. 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
And our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. And right now, if you have a friend that's a dietitian that is looking for a job, or if you are looking for a career change or a dietitian wanting to change locations, Leslie and her board-certified team, business is so good, they are looking for extra help right now. So you can go to the website at planforme.com, and check out career opportunities with our friends at Way to Wellness. But if you're looking for weight loss, they've got all the plans there, which includes everything from protein bars to monthly injections. Whatever you need there, they've got the great plans that will help you lose weight, control blood pressure, your eating habits, cholesterol, whatever it is, they've got it for you at Way to Wellness. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and that first consultation is free. The website is at planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Bryant Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
If you don't think Nick Saban's a winner no matter what he does, Nick Saban's the newest addition on College Game Day. You know that by now. They'll be at the Georgia-Alabama game. Game Day reporting yesterday, their TV ratings through their first part of the season here, their highest rated 4-game start to the season in the history of College Game Day. What's new? Nick Saban, Georgia-Alabama this weekend. You can get the grill going with our friends at New York Butcher Shop.
You had an opportunity, back-to-back days with Jim. On Monday, picked up fillets. Yesterday, it was meatloaf. Whatever you get from the New York Butcher Shop, you're going to absolutely love it. Great selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations, Cahaba Heights, Highway 119. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
All right, DJ Shockley, former Georgia great, with us now. You see him now on Fox 5 Atlanta. He'll be on the sidelines there with the Georgia broadcast in Bryant-Denny Stadium Saturday night. What is up, DJ? How are you today?
Fellas, good to see you again. I appreciate you guys having me. First off, the setup you guys got is dope. I love it. I mean, come on, can I get that in my basement? Can I get that in my man cave? I mean, you guys got a nice setup over there.
5 TVs right here too. You can watch all the games. 5 TVs in front of us. Yeah,
you guys are doing it big over there. I like it.
Last setup you were with, we were asking you to throw a hacky sack in a bucket.
Yeah, so that was after you threw Petrino under a bus.
That was terrible too. I can't believe I hit nothing. It was bad.
You still won the Roback gift card though. You got $500 in Roback.
No.
That's right.
Yeah. Sometimes you're winning life.
We built all this on Nick Saban money now, so we need a
lot of people have done that.
we got another wing we want to build out of this thing, another studio. We need Kalen DeBoer to win a big one on Saturday.
Well, and obviously Kirby Smart has built a program based on a lot of things that he learned from the greatest to ever do it, Nick Saban. But now Kirby comes in 1-5 against Alabama against Nick Saban. And we were talking about who this game is more important for. It's obviously important for both programs, both head coaches. It just feels like it's a little more important for Kirby based on the fact that he's 1-5 against Alabama. Is that fair?
Oh, no doubt about it. And I think it's one of those games where it's a must-win because I look at it like you just mentioned, 1-5 versus Saban. But then if you lose on Saturday, it looks like you have a quote-unquote Alabama problem because I think Kirby hasn't lost to another Power 5 head coach, in, I don't know, 5-6 years or whatever it is. And if you go on the road and you lose in Tuscaloosa, it says, what's the deal with Alabama? And last couple of years, you've had opportunities. You've had the best team on paper and coming into that game, especially in the SEC championship game, people thought, hey, this is defined that Georgia is a lot better. They should go and beat Alabama, but somehow, some way, they find a way to get a win. So Saturday is ultra important for Kirby, for this program, because at the end of the day, Jalen Milroe said it doesn't matter, what their record is, who they are. We still see them as Georgia, kind of the little brother, and we're always beating them. And until Georgia can beat them and do it consistently, it's hard to say they're not lying.
Boy, by the time this game gets here, y'all gonna have Jalen talking about their mother and everything. There's Jalen Milroe quotes coming out of everywhere. Receipts on Jalen Milroe.
You don't think Kirby's gonna do that?
I mean, my goodness, Kirby used to tell us he never listened to the show, and now it's everything. Who's the playmaker, man? Who's helping Carson Beck out in this game? I don't care about the Kentucky game. I know what that game's like every time you guys are in Lexington. Who's the playmaker that's going to make the big play for Carson Beck in Bryant-Denny Stadium?
That's a good question because throughout the first 3 games, they've had a kind of different set of characters make plays. And I remember in their second game, they had 15 different guys catch a pass. ETN's first game back. It's been a collection of guys, especially on the outside. In the red zone, it's been more of Kobe Young, the transfer out of Miami. He's a big 6'4" receiver versus Clemson, Landon Humphreys, who, came over from Vanderbilt, a guy who has lots of speed, caught an in cut and went to the house versus Clemson. Dylan Bell is still there, a guy who they love to get the ball to him in space. Dom Lovett is another guy that I think Carson really leans on, especially on third down. He's one of those reliable guys in the slot. He can play outside. But, fellas, I think in this game, it has to be the run game. It has to be ETN. He has to be the difference maker in this game, whether it's running the rock or coming out of the backfield. Georgia's, they haven't really done what they have been in the past when it comes to running the football. And Kirby always prided himself on being a more physical team. I talked to him on Monday, and he said, you know what, Shock, when we look over there, on that other side of the line of scrimmage, they're going to look like us. They're going to have the same skill guys as us. They're going to be just as fast as us, just as physical as us. So what's going to be the difference? And I think being able to run the rock is going to be a big thing because Carson wants to be able to play action. They want to be able to take shots. But if you can't run the rock, it's going to be hard to do that. So I think ETN has to have a monster game, and I think he has to touch it at least 15 times in this game, whether it's running or out the backfield, for Georgia's offense to have some success. Because if you come one-dimensional, they're going to pin their ears back and they're going to come after you.
DJ Shockley is with us, the Georgia great, Fox 5 and Falcons great. Fox 5 Atlanta.
You're so kind right there.
I know.
Great.
We love you, DJ.
I appreciate it.
At DJ Shockley 3 on social media is where you follow him. As you stood on the sidelines in Kroger Field and you watched that game unfold, you got to the end of it, Georgia had won. What was the most concerning most concerning thing coming out of that game for you that you'll watch Saturday in Tuscaloosa and say, okay, let's see if they fix that showed its head against Kentucky?
You know what? I'll be honest. There were a couple of things. I thought at the line of scrimmage, they didn't dominate as much as you thought they would. Either on both sides of the line of scrimmage. You obviously didn't run the football like you wanted to. Georgia had 63 yards of offense in the first half. I mean, that means nothing was going right for them. And then on the defensive side, I think it has to be the ability for them to run the football, but also Brock Vandagriff got out and made some big-time runs in that ballgame. He had a couple 3rd and 8+ runs in the ballgame that gave them key first downs. And Brock is a premier runner, but he is nothing to what Jalen Milroe is. And if you allow him to get out in space, he's going to turn an 8-10-yard run into 60. So I think that's the one thing that was concerning was the ability for the quarterback to be able to get out and make plays. There were times where Georgia brought pressure on Vandagriff, and he still was able to find an alley and get out and make some plays. That's what's going to be, I think, the difference in this ballgame is how Kirby goes about attacking that Alabama offense. Because in the SEC championship game, they kind of sat back and allowed Milroe to decipher what he wanted to see. Then he could throw it or he could run it, and that didn't work out well for you. And you look at maybe the Michigan game where they came after him a little bit and had more success. So I think it has to be a combination of both. You got to have eyes on him, but you also have to pick your battles as far as your rush lane goes. But Georgia offensively didn't run it the way they wanted to in the first half. They weren't good on 3rd down. And I think that's going to be probably the most pivotal thing for this offense is how do you fail on 3rd down? They're 74th in the country right now on 3rd down conversions. That's not going to win a lot of ball games for you, especially when you go to Tuscaloosa on the road. 1st and 2nd down has to be huge. How you go about that, getting it done, is going to be a big part of this ballgame.
DJ, the last time we saw you in person, Dallas SEC Media Days, and one of the big talking points was the schedules of Florida and Oklahoma. And nobody was talking about this Georgia schedule because it is Georgia. And I know Georgia has not lost a regular season game since the cocktail party in 2020. But now, how big of a conversation point has this turned after the struggle in Lexington? Because not only, obviously, this game Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, got to go to Austin, got to go to Oxford, still got Tennessee.
I mean, it's a monster topic. I mean, I asked Kirby about it at the beginning of the year, and I point blank asked him, do you go about how you practice differently? How do you go about getting these guys prepared every week? Because it's going to be a gauntlet. And he was honest about it, saying, yeah, I don't know who scheduled this, but obviously they were not a fan of the Bulldogs because they gave us a hectic schedule. But Kirby does such a good job, though, of kind of compartmentalizing everything and processing it in a one game. And we hear it all the time. Let's go 1-0. Let's focus on this week. And Kirby, I think, has done the best job of doing that. But it's hard for these kids to not look at, okay, we're going to go play Alabama. Then a couple weeks, we got to go to Austin. Then we got to go to Ole Miss, got Tennessee. Like you guys mentioned, it's a gauntlet of a schedule. And it's already kind of showing its teeth as they've lost a couple guys already early in the season that are key contributors, like a Tate Ralledge on an offensive line who's played a bunch of ball for him, or a Michael Williams who went down a couple games ago. They're hoping to get him back this week. But you're talking about just being able to survive. And each and every week, every team's going to bring their best. And everybody wants to knock off the big dog that's at the top, and you're going to bring your best just like Kentucky did. So the conversation has been there. I think Georgia understands it. But the best thing for them to do is worry about what's going on week to week, and then you got to worry about what's happening the following week.
Listen, Carson Beck waited for his time, and then he didn't go to the NFL this year because he wanted to play for a championship, wants to try to win a national championship. You're known for waiting for your starting time at Georgia. I mean, you're such a team guy that you passed, and you waited and you waited and you waited. Would that have been harder for you, and if it was the NIL days back in the day, for you to have waited for your time at Georgia as much as you loved that school? Would you have been tempted to bounce somewhere else?
That's a great question, because me sitting here now thinking about me at 21 and a school saying, hey, Shock, we got $500,000 for you. That's tough to say. You know what? I really love this school, but 500,000 is 500,000. I think it's harder for these kids to kind of make those decisions. And it's funny you asked that. I was just sitting with Carson just Monday. I was watching some tape with him on Alabama, and we were talking about the process of leaving and all that kind of stuff, because he was once committed to Alabama. And, we were talking about that process of, how we went through it. And he was like, man, I'll be honest, it's hard to leave this place. Jamon Dumas-Johnson, who plays at Kentucky, talking to him when Georgia played him, he was like, man, it's just different. The way Georgia goes about everything is just isn't the same. And Kirby says it every at the end of every year, there are going to be people who can go in the portal, people who can leave, but just know they don't do it like we do it. And I think that's part of the process, is trying to understand what's the best place for you. Where can you succeed the most? And if you're in a position like Carson Beck where you don't play till your 4th and 5th year, then sometimes it may work out better for you, because coming into this season, you're going to play with so much talent. You're going to have opportunity to play on the biggest stages, and you're going to be put in positions to say, hey, I came from a university like D'Amico Ryans, who said, hey, when you ever get a Georgia kid, you know you're going to get a pro-ready guy. So I think it's a tough pill. It's one of those ones where I don't know what I would have done at that time. Kind of hard to say, because we had success when I stayed. But these kids have a lot of opportunities. They have a lot of options. And Georgia is one of the premier places, and they do set you up for success once you leave. But it's hard to turn down that money, I know.
So if Carson Beck had gone to Alabama, you believe, right, Carson would be starting over Jalen right now? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, wow.
That's how you're going to do me. You're going to put that out there like
really.
that?
Well, I mean, my God, she was so nice.
I mean, you guys have Jalen saying all this stuff. I'm just trying to get a little. I see the headlines. DJ Shockley says Carson Beck would start over Milroe if both were at Alabama.
You know the headlines.
Hey, I'll back you on this.
I don't know, man. Saban might still be there. Who knows? I mean, so many things could play out, man, through that time.
Wait,
Obviously,
Saban may
Milroe
still
is
be
one of the
there?
top players.
Are you Saban? So Jalen Milroe got Saban to retire? Is that what you're saying?
Come on, that away.
College football got Saban retired.
Hey, before we let you roll, just talking about the NIL, I mean, to me, it's like the biggest story to date. Matthew Slucka shutting it down after 4 games at UNLV. I don't know how deep of a dive you've taken into this, but this is a legitimate Group 5 contender to get an automatic bid. And now 4 games in, he's saying the NIL, what they promised, wasn't there. He hasn't gotten it. I'm sure UNLV is going to come with a different story. I think they already have. Dunaway, I think, brought that up.
Oh, it's going back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. I mean, it's a terrible look on both sides. But from a former player's perspective, how do you play 4 games with your teammates? You guys have fought together. You've got wins over Houston and Kansas out of the Big 12. You've got an opportunity to do something really special, and you're shutting it down based on money. I know he's got to do what's right for him and his family, but this is just a bad look on both sides.
Yeah, that's something I disagree on. And that's one thing that I will always go to bat for, is the guys that you sweating and you go to war with. And I'll be honest, you have all the stuff you do from January all the way up until the season, and you build that chemistry, you build that camaraderie with your guys, and basically you saying, I love money more than I love my teammates who I have put so much into. And for me, I look at it in a different light of, hey, if I want to go to the next level, if I want to be the best player and person I want to be, when I get to the next level, do you think coaches, GMs, they're going to look back and say, you know what? If it comes down to money, I know this guy is not going to be all about the team. So why would I give him the money to play for a team? So I disagree with him, doing that. I just think it shows just a lack of character from him of, hey, I got to go out and I got to play with my guys. Regardless of what's going on the outside, that's going to be handled. But I don't think the money situation is the end-all, be-all. Now, a lot of guys may feel like, you never know, maybe he needs it for his family. You never know the scenarios that may be going on behind the scenes. But if it doesn't have to do with that, I think it all comes back to the team. And I think that's what, going back to Kirby, that's one thing that he always mentioned is, I want a guy who wants to come here and play. It's not all about the money, because at the end of the day, the money it'll come and go. And Georgia just passed a law where the school can start paying the kids straightforward. So I hear it all over football. It's going on. I mean, Jaden Rashada, who's at Georgia right now, was having the same issues with Florida, and he's suing Billy Napier in Florida. So I think it's going to be an issue. We knew when NIL came about, the parameters around it was very strange, and it was going to be a lot of questions here and there. I think it's going to continue. But ultimately, I think when you get into a position where you're already playing, you've dedicated yourself to this team, and this team needs you, and you don't show up, that's not a good look.
All right, he is DJ Shockley at DJ Shockley 3 on social media. See him on Fox 5 in Atlanta, Georgia's sidelines there. He stays busy this time of year. DJ, we appreciate the time, my man. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
Fellas, you guys are the best. Appreciate you having me.
All right, man. Thank you. Take care. DJ Shockley with us on the Johnston RVCenter.com hotline.
And the show being brought to you by our friends at Lanyas Furniture, as they offer you still this great month of buying here this fall.
Had an opportunity to talk to Reggie yesterday. He wants to remind everybody out there, if you're looking for that one special piece, whether it's for your man room, your entertainment room, it could be that Lazy Boy Flex Steel recliner. It could be one of those sectionals. Our friends at Lanyas Furniture believe in getting more style for less. They've got the best pricing, the best inventory out there. Lanyas offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, entertainment, man cave, and they've got a great selection of mattresses as well. Saving store-wide right now. Make the short drive from Birmingham. Take exit 280 off of I-65, the Hallmark Farms exit. Go south on U.S. Highway 31 for 1.3 miles to Lanyas. We'll be right there on your right. For more information, 205-647-4311, and make sure you tell them the next round set.
Everything moving so fast like they do at NASCAR weekend coming up October 4th through 6th. The calendar's what's blowing me by. I can't believe it's week 5. I can't believe it's the end of September already. October 4th will be here quick. Don't forget free camping always at Talladega Super Speedway. Don't forget the concert series on Saturday night before the races. Your ticket gets you in to see Jake Owens. This time around, Jake Owen, no S on the end. Jake Owen is in concert there. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA. It's a playoff race, Yellowwood 500. The big race coming up October 4th through the 6th. Should be a lot of fun over at Talladega. Before we get to 4 downs, one other note about college football and cleaning up some mess. Brent Venables saying at his news conference yesterday, I did not run Dylan Gabriel off. That is the talking point, right? I chose Jackson Arnold over Dylan Gabriel. He says,
I love how he's clarifying it now.
Well, he says, basically, he didn't say I'm tired of hearing it, but he said, just so you guys know,
right?
Dylan Gabriel opted out of our bowl game and said he was going to the NFL. And that was the plan. He was leaving and going to the NFL. He opted out of the bowl game, and then when he decided he was going to not go to the NFL, that's when he went to the portal and went to Oregon. I never told him to leave. He always had an opportunity to be here. I did not choose Jackson Arnold over Dylan Gabriel.
Okay, we were told differently by Oklahoma people at Media Days that
correct,
there was a conversation that Jackson Arnold, it was his time. Whether or not, I don't know what to believe. I do know the right decision from Brent Venables was not talking about this before the season, because that would have showed maybe he doesn't have a ton of confidence in these quarterbacks that he's got, whether it was Jackson Arnold or it's Michael Hawkins. But I don't know why you address it now coming off this line.
I do, because how bad Jackson Arnold looked. And you're like,
and they had a graphic on national television. You look at what Dylan Gabriel's doing. Look at Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, but
Dylan Gabriel, by the way, says yesterday when he's asked about this, listen, a lot has happened since then. That's in my past. I don't really remember how it went down.
It's the way to answer it. And I think Venables stood in the same. Basically, what Venables is saying now is because Jackson Arnold is playing bad, I would have loved to have had Dylan Gabriel. I think this is another reason that we will not see Jackson Arnold again as Oklahoma's quarterback.
Jeff Lebby was the reason given when he left to go to Mississippi State that Dylan Gabriel wanted to go somewhere
Seth Luttrell,
else.
This offense has been terrible.
It's been awful.
It has. It's never awful. It's 4 downs. It's brought to you by our friends at Slice. Tyler, get ready for 4 downs here. Slice is bringing you the great 4 downs today. Great lunch, great dinner, always ready for you.
Yeah, 5 locations for you. Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. Newest location in Edgewood. Local pizza, local ingredients from the Bajaya Special, the Wing and a Prayer, the Hot Mama, the Soul Pie. You're going to love it. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Who do you feel like you know better right now, Ole Miss or Tennessee?
I feel like I know better Tennessee right now. I know NC State's not much.
They're not good.
Oklahoma's got a great defense.
Yeah.
Tennessee's got a great defense, and I think that's going to be what continues to carry them into the playoffs. Brown, you weren't here yesterday. I told Clay Travis this is the hardest sentence I've ever had to say. I think Tennessee is the best team in the country right now, here's Clay Travis on the show.
Yeah, they may well be. I don't know. I would say, Lance, that going to Oklahoma is going to override, and winning the way they did is going to override anything Ole Miss is. The toughest they've done is go to Wake Forest. I mean, come on, man. So,
come on, man.
I mean, we'll learn about Ole Miss at some point.
Been so dominant. Someone was asking me on Bama and Bourbon, what do you think this total will be? And I was like, it's really difficult to answer because the offenses have been unstoppable, but the defenses have been lights out. Like, I think it would be like 62-63.
Ooh, I'd take the over, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I mean, I think Tennessee's defense might be better than their offense.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's defense is their best unit. I would agree with you, and I don't know the answer to that on Ole Miss, so I'd say Tennessee's the answer. Yeah.
Second down.
T.I. 45, Donald Glover 42. T.I. Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Gambino.
You go Gambino?
Probably
Easy.
just because of the acting.
It puts him over the top.
Yeah, like, and I musically, I mean, it's kind of a push, but Donald Glover from the Atlanta series I didn't want to watch the remake of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but he was nominated for a bunch of awards there.
Was he in Community?
Spider-Man's.
Yes, he was in Community.
Okay.
He's a talented dude.
Yeah, his music videos are just, they're works of art.
But T.I. also has done some acting. I mean, bad blockbuster movies. But
Daniel in the mybookie.ag chat room says Donald Glover's on his way to the EGOT.
Yeah.
I mean, not many of those, right?
Yeah. For those that don't know, the EGOT is the, I forget which category.
Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, and Tony.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
What's he doing on Broadway?
I don't know, but I'm sure he will do something.
I think maybe Daniel's just saying he's got the ego.
Yeah.
All he needs is the and he'll find a way to get the
Well, I'll go Glover, but T.I. is, more my vibe.
Glover's
music.
never done time like T.I. though, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Which is a good thing. I'd lean that's a positive for Glover.
I'd lean that way too, yes.
Third down.
Scottie Pippen, 60 years old today. Boy, that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas, 81. That doesn't seem right. Better career, Michael Douglas or Scottie Pippen?
I don't think Michael Douglas needed a Michael Jordan. Michael Douglas could be the number one in a movie, and Scottie Pippen showed he could never be the number one. So Michael Douglas.
Early on, great producer too. Like movies like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Best Picture. So he's been producing for 50 years basically, and he's been acting at a high level. He's got an Academy Award. Yeah, I would go Michael Douglas as well.
I would go Michael Douglas as well. To Brown's point, on his 60th birthday, nobody had to come in and blow out the last candle for Michael Douglas. Jordan would need to come do it for Pippen.
Wow.
Let me close.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Will Smith, 57 years old. Better career ultimately, Will Smith or Robin Williams?
It's going to be Will Smith. I mean, Robin Williams is a legend, but Will Smith has done so much.
Yeah, but I'm going to say Robin Williams in my opinion. I think Robin Williams was...
Will Smith has won an Academy Award. Robin Williams has, but Will Smith has won Grammys.
Yeah, but the comedic value of Robin Williams and the improv in his mind, I'm going to go Robin Williams.
Yeah, fantastic. But
Robin Williams didn't ruin his career at an award show.
I don't know if
that
he
is an excellent
ruined it.
point.
I mean, he did come back. I think Bad Boys 4, it was a box office hit this year. I mean, look, that was a complete mental meltdown from Will Smith.
Which Robin struggled with in his life as well.
Well,
mental health.
And then obviously had an incurable disease. One of the reasons he decided to take his life.
That's right.
Yeah.
I
think both of them super talented. I would lean Will Smith, but it's close.
Yeah, I would go Robin Williams, but I have a great respect for Will Smith as well. And that's Four Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, get to see the Bajaya brothers, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers Chris and Jason continue to celebrate his legacy. Stop into one of those 5 locations for a slice and salad today, or pick up a pie on your way home. It is Slice.
All right. Before we find out about trivia tonight, don't forget Rockstar and LT back at trivia tonight down at Odie's. Brent Pry, you talking about one-possession games. I just saw this stat floating around as Miami plays host to Virginia Tech this weekend. Brent Pry, in his last 10 one-possession games, 1-9. 1-9 in one-possession games. I think some of us on the table feel like he could be in a one-possession game this weekend with Miami. I don't think the Hokies are dead and done in this contest.
I don't know. I mean, Miami looks so freaking good right now. But, this is one of those Friday games, and we've seen some craziness in the past. Virginia Tech could easily be 4-0.
Could be 4-0. Their losses are to Vandy and to Rutgers.
Yeah, one possession losses.
As the season continues, the Vandy loss looks less bad for them.
Yeah, and I think Rutgers ends up being pretty good as well, too.
Yeah, I think Rutgers could be an 8-win team.
Yeah, exactly. Keep an eye on that one. And don't forget, Odie's tonight. It's Wednesday night, right?
It is Wednesday night. Tyler, you will not be there, but you're the guy in your the former guy in your what am I looking for?
The guy that used to sit where you sit now.
Yeah, it's Rockstar. He'll be there.
He will be there tonight, performing, entertaining. Make sure you come out. We'll get started a little after 8 o'clock. Enjoy some of the great food. Rodney Davis has been serving up for more than 35 years. Incredible sandwiches, burgers, wings, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. But Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night tonight. The original location in Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. It is Odie's Tavern.
I may go just to see Rockstar.
Go do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's had longer vacations than he's been gone. It's only Wednesday.
Saw him Friday, literally.
It's only Wednesday, but I may go just to see. I may go just to have the chicken fingers and the ranch, just so I could send a picture to little T, so she's jealous that I'm having chicken fingers and ranch, and just to see Rocky sing or something. If you miss Rocky, go to see him at Odie's tonight. And don't forget, he's Friday night at the other Odie's location, the Homewood location down in Edgewood, singing. So you get to hear rock stars sing coming up on Friday night down at the other Odie's location. When we come back, Andy Staples joins the show. Stay with us.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Buying that perfect home is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make, so it's crucial that you have the right partner to help you through the process. Hi, I'm Lisa Zeig, Vice President Mortgage Loan Officer for Bryant Bank, and I'm here to tell you that we are that partner, making it easy to buy with confidence. We offer a variety of mortgage products to fit your unique home buying situation. That kind of hassle-free approach might not be what you'd expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give me a call today or visit one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama and let me show you what banking beyond expectation is all about.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, this is Matt Roth, the franchisee of Walk On Sports Bistro in Birmingham. With the kickoff of football season, come visit us at one of our 3 locations, Stadium Trace, Greystone, or Trussville. Come enjoy our scratch kitchen menu while watching one of our 80 TVs. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game celebration, game day, or date night, we've got you covered. It's all about the win at Walk On Sports Bistro. Walk On, where everybody needs a little playing time.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Here at the Next Round, we love our guests, especially our 2024 football regulars. Auburn, Alabama fans, we've got your guys. On Mondays at 9:25, we'll be joined by Alabama offensive lineman Tyler Booker, and Tuesdays at 9:25, we chat with Auburn quarterback Peyton Thorne. Join us and rep your team.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Deep Southern Fried Chicken, Champy's Chicken, they bring you this hour of the show. Sterling's been at his location in Alabaster for over a decade. Perfect for your tailgating. If you're heading to Jordan-Hare or to Bryant-Denny for the big games this weekend, swing by there, pre-order it, pick it up. Big bags of chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order, the great sides, and don't forget the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and the crew at champy'schicken.com.
Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Hadn't had them.
Got a little kick to them.
They do. I bet Andy Staples has had them, though. I haven't had them in a while. I need them. Andy Staples is with us on 3. Andy, what is up, my friend? How are you?
Delta-style tamales are the best.
They are, aren't they?
They're so freaking good.
Yeah.
So now I'm hungry. Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. I haven't had lunch yet. So being in Florida, nowhere near the Mississippi Delta, I will not be able to get any of those. So, yeah, you're killing me.
Hey, best wishes to you. I know the storm is coming up that way. I hope your family is safe and will be okay there. We'll just
hatches are batting down.
Okay.
Hatches are batting down. Bought my water and my batteries yesterday, boys.
Yeah, well, I hate having to deal with that. So we'll be thinking about you guys, and you'll be in our prayers. Know that.
Are hurricane parties real? I mean, do those things happen? Does it? I mean, you always hear of hurricane parties, but
okay, if you have a hurricane party before the hurricane, you're an idiot. Like, brace yourself before. Now, I will say there have been times when we thought we were going to get hit by a hurricane. Work got canceled, school got canceled, everything got canceled. Hurricane turned another direction, and you get the most beautiful sunny day you've ever gotten. That's when you throw the hurricane party because nobody's at work.
Gotcha.
So
that makes sense.
That's how you do it. It's not like you don't do it beforehand. You don't get everybody over. Hey, let's all sit here and get battered by the hurricane together. That ain't happening.
Yeah. We've had the blizzard party after the blizzard comes down, and once you're stuck and nobody can go to work and everybody's safe,
a blizzard for us is like an inch. So
yeah, but we shut everything down.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, so I asked these guys earlier, Andy, who do you know most about up until this point, Tennessee and Ole Miss? And they gave good answers. I mean, Tennessee did go to Norman, and they completely shut down that offense. But if I asked you, let's jump ahead to the end of the season, who do you think is going to be in a better spot, Tennessee or Ole Miss?
Well, Ole Miss has an easier schedule. So, I mean, that would be one way to do it. But Tennessee's actually, absolutely proven more at this point. Ole Miss has had the longest possible runway into its difficult games. And honestly, like that October 12th game at LSU that we were saying is going to be the one that tells us everything. I don't know they're going to tell us anything. Like that's how this is going for them. But this Kentucky game should tell us a little bit. I mean, Kentucky obviously pushed Georgia to the brink. We don't know which version of Kentucky they're going to see, the one that got smoked by South Carolina or the one that almost beat Georgia. But I'm assuming it'll be closer to the one that almost beat Georgia because this is going to be a big deal if Kentucky can win this one. So I do think we're going to learn some more about Ole Miss. I mean, they look awesome, but we've not seen them tested at all. We've at least seen Tennessee play against a really good defense in Oklahoma.
This feels like either way, it's going to be unfair to Kalen DeBoer when this game is over with, but it feels like on Saturday night, when the game's over at Bryant-Denny Stadium, Alabama fans are either going to be like, oh, Nick Saban wouldn't have lost that game, or they'd be like, Nick who? Look at who we got now. It done beat Kirby in Georgia. Doesn't it feel like it's going to go one way or the other with the Bama fans?
Well, of course. But, I don't think Kalen DeBoer cares as long as he gets that W. Like, It doesn't matter what anybody's thinking. Or if they say he beat you beat him with Saban's players. Who cares? You beat him. And I actually think this matchup favors Alabama. Georgia still want to see who stretches the field for them. Like Alabama, we know who stretches the field for them. We've seen Ryan Williams already.
Do you know how old he is, by chance?
I've heard he's someone. Now, as someone who started college at 17, because like my birthday is this weekend. So when I was in high school, freshman year, I was 13. Freshman year of college, I was 17 right now. So like I get it. I don't know how he's doing because I was on the roster of a national championship team when I was 17, and I was getting my ass beat on a daily basis. Like this guy's just destroying people at age 17.
Andy Staples is with us on 3 Sports at Andy_Staples as where you follow him on social media. I mean, that was the sentence I uttered earlier, Andy, as we were just talking about some matchups of this game. I think it was in relation to Beck or Milroe. And I said, what's crazy to say is Alabama, I think, obviously has the best receiver in this game. And as the old song said,
maybe the best 2.
You would say Jeremy Bernard is better than Dominic Lovett as well?
Maybe.
I mean,
I don't think it's crazy to say that. Yeah.
We haven't seen Lovett become that, go-to target yet, and nobody's come close to being what Ladd McConkey was. Like, I don't think people fully appreciate the Ladd McConkey narrative, like that he was some tryhard. Like, Ladd McConkey was an elite athlete who was just roasting people, and they don't seem to have that right now.
Yeah, I would agree. And I was going to finish with, what was it, Winger? She was only 17? Is that who's saying that?
Great God. White, maybe?
You're bringing up Winger?
Well, I'm trying.
No, it was Skid Row's 17 in life to go, right?
No, somebody's saying
18 in life.
18 in life to go. We're butchering this.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, I was watching Dial MTV every day in elementary school, so I saw all those videos. Yeah, she's only 17. Would not get much airplay today. Like that one. There's a lot of problems with that. Every Breath You Take by the Police. I don't think that one's going to be popular. Into the Night by Benny Mardones. Don't even listen to the lyrics of that song.
Hey, I can't. You know what blows me away?
Never again.
I was flipping around Sirius XM a couple of days ago, taking the kids to dinner or whatever, and P. Diddy is still all over Sirius XM. I can't believe they have not pulled P. Diddy.
Just in case. Like, just see how this sorts
out. This ain't trending well, right?
Yeah, just see how it sorts out. Yeah.
Not trending well at all. So I was going to ask you, everybody's got an opinion on the Auburn Hugh Freeze throwing quarterbacks under the bus. It's been a disaster. I mean, when you've got 5 home games to open the season, we all believe 4-1 or 5-0 was going to be the number. They're 2-2. They've got Oklahoma this week. They have lost as double digits to Cal. They've lost as a favorite to Arkansas. Where are you on everything going on year 2 with Freeze?
It's so fascinating because both sides of this game are so interesting because Hugh has to win this game and Brent Venables has to win this game. Like, both of them could be in dire trouble if they lose because you look at what comes next on the schedule. For Auburn, it's Georgia, Missouri, Kentucky on the road. And, oh, by the way, Diego Pavia starts for Vanderbilt, and he's already beaten you with New Mexico State. Like, that's scary as hell. But then if you're Brent Venables, if you lose this game, you get Texas next. You got to play South Carolina, Alabama, Missouri, LSU. Like, that's terrifying, too. Somebody's got to figure out how to win. Like, do the thing you have to do to win. And we've seen Hugh Freeze change quarterbacks twice already. Brent Venables is changing quarterbacks in this game. He's going to go with Michael Hawkins Jr. But my thing with Hugh is they are moving the ball. He's absolutely right about that. They're moving the ball. The turnovers are the problem. 8 interceptions, 6 fumbles lost. If the interceptions are the biggest problem, if it is throwing the ball to the other team, that does seem to be what is derailing them. Obviously, they had the very costly fumble into the end zone that Arkansas recovered the other day, too. But I feel like the interceptions are probably the bigger problem. You are still running the ball so well. Like, they're averaging 5.5, 6 yards a carry in most games. I realize they run a very heavy RPO-based offense. So for those who don't understand how that works, like, you call the play, there's 3 things the quarterback can do usually on that play, and it's give to the back, keep, or throw. You can take the throw tag off. It doesn't completely cripple the offense if you take the throw tag off. Like, if your offense can block inside zone or duo or whatever your base run plays are in those RPOs, if you can block it effectively and gain 5-6 yards a carry, guess what? You can beat almost anyone. So if it's such a problem that your quarterbacks keep throwing it to the other team, then just try to run it. Do what Sharon Moore did for Michigan against USC. It was ugly as hell, but you know what? They won the game. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Your job is to win the game. Your job is not to make it look pretty. Your job is not to run a balanced offense. Your job is not to throw for as many yards as you run for. Your job's to win the game. So you get paid a bunch of money. Do the thing that helps you win the game. Like, that's my thing with Freeze. And it could just be that they have a game that's turnover free and they look great. Because again, their offense has moved the ball even through the air. They've been pretty explosive other than throwing the ball to the other team.
Andy, I'm interested. Is this do you feel like this is Tennessee and Miami's best chance to win a national championship since the last time they won national championships? Are you buying how good Tennessee and Miami have looked so far?
Now I feel like I got to throw a Y2K party.
Yeah, it does feel like it, right?
It's taking me back.
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean, these are definitely the best versions of these teams since kind of the turn of the century. I was a beat writer covering that 2001 Tennessee team. Should not have gagged away the second half of the SEC championship game. Like, I would have loved to see the John Henderson, Albert Haynesworth, Will Overstreet defensive line against that 2001 Miami team, because it would have put up a better fight than Nebraska did. I still think Miami probably would have won the game. But I do think both those fan bases should be really excited, because you look at Miami's path, it's pretty laid out there for them. They're going to have to mess this up to not be in the playoff. Like, because I don't even know if they have to win the ACC. They don't play Clemson in the regular season. If Clemson keeps winning, it could be that both those teams make it. And then for Tennessee, you got the quarterback you want. This is the best defense you've had in forever. Like, I feel really good about them too. If they can make the playoff conceivably still losing to Alabama and Georgia, if they split those two games, they're definitely making the playoff.
Okay, if I pulled Ohio State out of the mix and you've got to give me one team that has to make the playoffs, life or death, it becomes a little more difficult, though, right? Like,
I think it's Alabama or Georgia.
Oh, okay, well, you got to give me one. And are you going to feel good about it after they lose Saturday night?
Well, if Georgia loses, I feel worse because they have to play Ole Miss and Texas on the road. But that crushing of Clemson. What if Clemson finishes 12-1 and wins the ACC?
Looks a lot better now.
Like, you actually may be able to lose those 3 road games if they're close and still make the playoff, hanging it on that win.
Boy, we went all that time and never had a 2-loss team in a 4-team playoff. We could have a 3-loss automatic bid, 3-loss non-automatic bid the first year. That'd be pretty amazing.
Schedules are going to matter. Like, they have to matter. And that's why if you're Ole Miss or you're Missouri, like, you should worry about that. Like, you got to keep winning, because your schedule and their schedule are not the same. But I think Ole Miss, if they just beat Georgia, they should be fine. Yeah. Like, Missouri, if they beat Alabama, they should be fine. But if you drop those games, then you got to, because let's say Georgia beats Ole Miss I guess in that scenario where they lose 3 games, they would have lost to Ole Miss. But let's just for hypothetical sake, let's say they beat Ole Miss, but they lose to Alabama and Texas, and they lose somewhere else along the line. I don't think they will, but let's say they did. If you got the wins against Clemson and Ole Miss, it's gonna be hard to keep you out.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. All right, he is Andy Staples. Go follow him on Twitter. Do everything for Andy we ask you to do for us. Give him a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to his podcast. You can find all of it right there at Andy_Staples on social media, on 3 Sports, at Andy_Staples. Again, stay safe, Andy. We appreciate the time. Always good catching up with you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care. Andy Staples with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Our friends at Hemp Hill brings you Lance's Lock, lanceslock.com. All the great baseball we had last night, weather permitting, we have that again tonight. LT's got baseball plays for you at lanceslock.com.
Yeah, I had a winner with the A's last night. We had the under in the Astros-Mariners. It hit on 7, so we took a push there. We had a winning night, though, 1-0-1. We've got one free play out there for you right now at lanceslock.com. Ready to get back into the NFL and college football tomorrow. Back-to-back really good weekends there for you. Jump on board, lanceslock.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services for all of your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. Trust the name Birmingham's trust since 1954. They are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
By the way, as we tell you about mybookie.ag, I don't know if you follow trends like this, Lance, but I'm curious. I'll reach out to Furman. He may have to join us Thursday because of our different time Friday. We're on 12 to 3 again Friday from the Rabbit Hole in Tuscaloosa.
Can't
doing
wait
a
for
different
that
time.
show.
Yeah, 12 to 3. Army, Navy, and Air Force all favored on the same Saturday. That probably has not happened in a long time. Navy is favored by 3.5 over UAB.
Well, I've seen Army and Navy play a little bit. I mean, Navy laid 56 on Memphis last week.
I know.
I think Army's off to a 2-0 start in the American in their first year.
Yeah.
Are we going to get to the end of the year and it's going to be one of those rules where they can't win the American? That's going to piss me off?
Yeah. Technically not on a Saturday because Army plays Thursday night. They play tomorrow night at Temple, but they're favored 13.5. I mentioned that Navy is favored 3.5 over UAB here in Birmingham, and then Air Force is favored by 4.
At Wyoming.
So I don't know when you've seen them all favored in the same weekend.
And look, I know it was a much-needed bye for UAB this past weekend, but if that Navy team shows up that showed up last week against Memphis,
that's trouble, isn't it?
UAB's going to have a hard time stopping them.
You can play all those games, by the way, whether it's historic or not. MyBookie.ag, code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. You make that initial deposit to get started. They're going to say, hey, welcome aboard. They're going to double that initial deposit for you at MyBookie.ag. That's when you use code next round. When you sign up, you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. The great thing about that is that you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, but also on that sign-on bonus is that you don't have to win with it like 5, 6, 7, 8 times. You win with it once. It is yours and yours forever. MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Obviously, to start the show, for the first 35 minutes of the show, we talked about Matt Sluka, or are you calling him Sluka?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Sluka.
I'm going to go Sluka.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's a game day sign somebody has Matt Sucka at some point if you're a UNLV fan making it to Tuscaloosa. But we talked about that to start the show if you want our take on the Matt Sluka situation there with UNLV. We will get back to that as that continues the rest of the week to progress out. And don't forget, as Brownie mentioned, Rabbit Hole on Friday. The show is moving 9 to 12 to 12 to 3. So we're sliding it 3 hours to 12 to 3. We'll be at the Rabbit Hole with our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And our friends at Ghost will be there as well. And we'll enjoy a Friday big game weekend in Tuscaloosa live on the show, 12 to 3. Come by and see us, and we'll have a good time. It's time for Sneaky Good Game right now, brought to you by our friends at McCurry Van and Car Rental, Brownie. All those great locations, including if you're flying in for the big game like my man Carlton has done and you need a rent-a-car, they got a location in Tuscaloosa.
Right there on Skyland Boulevard. That's in addition to Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and 2nd Avenue Northwest there on Coleman. If you need a car, van, or truck, you rent from McCurry Van and Car Rental, local rental company you depend on. Easy in, easy out. They handle you there. Here's the unified number for all those locations, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com.
The College Football Spotlight.
This weekend's Sneaky Good Game.
Sneaky Good Game. It's going to come early for me. It's not easy to win on the road anywhere. Going to West Lafayette, Purdue didn't look good when they were trying to battle Notre Dame, but it's a back-to-earth game.
Your helmets.
This is the way video games looked when I first started.
Yeah.
These were the logos from the video games when I first started. Huskers and Boilers, I fully expect Nebraska to beat their eyes out.
Okay.
But it's a sneaky good game because I want to see how the Huskers respond to what had to be a heartbreaking loss to Illinois. I know this sounds very...
How's it a sneaky good game if they're going to beat their eyes out?
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure out.
Because I'm watching it, LT, to see how the Huskers respond. It could get tricky in West Lafayette. I don't think it will, but it's sneaky good for me because I want to see the Huskers, who I still think is the better team against Illinois, and they just didn't capitalize on their situation there in Lincoln. Huskers, Boilers, 11 a.m. on Peacock. And by the way, on Peacock, the entire day, pretty good football games on one streaming service, which ties up my my TV if I wanted to watch Nebraska, Purdue, followed by Louisville, Notre Dame, followed by Ohio State, Michigan State. Those are all streaming only on Peacock.
My game is going to feature two teams that are 2-2. And you would ask the same question to me, Brown, how can a sneaky good game feature two 2-2 teams? These teams are 2-2, Lance. I'll answer that question that you didn't actually ask because they've played an extremely difficult schedule. USF is at Tulane. They've both played a tough schedule.
Oh, yeah.
USF played Alabama and Miami, and Tulane has played Kansas State and Oklahoma. So it's been tough schedules. They have yet to play a conference game, and they will do that in New Orleans. Tulane, by the way, a 6-point favorite down in New Orleans as USF comes to town. 11 o'clock, ESPNU, early window ESPNU, sneaky good game. First American conference game this season for those two teams.
Have you guys noticed there's a lot of 11 o'clock games for Tulane? Is it the fact that, like...
That's a good question, yeah.
Well, that Tulane fans probably don't care when and where they're drinking, but do you think there's something to, if we had night games, how wild it might get?
I don't know, but you're right. I do feel like I get a lot of Tulane on ESPNU at 11 a.m.
I do think, just being a TV guy, that you look at the windows. They should do it this way, but last week's 11 o'clock window was sucked. It absolutely sucked. I do think if I was a TV executive, I would look at the day and I would try to put some watchable games at 11 and Tulane is a watchable product. And at home, I mean, USF Tulane's it's a good game. Now, is it going to be the most watched game in that window? Probably not, but it could get good ratings. You throw it in the 2:30 window or the primetime window at night, it'll have 0 eyeballs. So I do think there's something to that 11 o'clock window. You can sneak in a sneaky good game and get good ratings.
Well, my game was going to be this regardless, and I know there's a lot of traffic around it and a lot of people talking about it because of Matthew Sluka is tapping out after 4 games. But Fresno State comes in at 3-1. Their one loss in the Big House week 1 against Michigan. And remember, going into the fourth quarter, that game was yet to be decided. Will Johnson had a pick 6, kind of stretched that out. They ended up winning 30-10. But since then, they have absolutely cruised, winning by double digits in every game. Now, they've beaten both New Mexico State and New Mexico. And I know Scott had his upset alert on that game yesterday. But I still think Fresno State is going to give them all that they want. This is the first Mountain West game of the year for UNLV. Boise State's still your favorite there, but Fresno is a team that could win this conference. UNLV, we'll see what they get at quarterback play with their number 2 or 3, but I think this at 2:30 on FS1 is a really sneaky good game.
In the Dome in Vegas, right? For that game?
Yes.
Yeah. They play at Allegiant Stadium.
I think that helps out a little bit. That's our sneaky good game brought to you by our friends at McCurry Vandencar Rental.
Yeah, McCurryRentals.com. That's where you go to get started. McCurryRentals.com.
Okay. Alabama and Georgia, the biggest one in the country in Tuscaloosa this weekend. And for Alabama, their offense against that great Georgia defense, Grace McWhorter over there talking to the OC, Nick Sheridan, about having sometimes maybe to sustain a drive against such a good defense.
Coach, we've talked a lot about sustaining long drives this season. Now against Georgia, without giving away too much of the game plan, what does it look like to do against them?
Well, I think it's just about execution. It's about us executing simple things well and being able to respond to, whatever happens in the game. And so I don't think that that's different, this week than it is in the past. Obviously, the opponent is excellent. And so, the attention to detail and the focus, gets heightened. But it's still about executing and doing the simple things really well. And, that's what will show up on Saturday. And for both sides is the team that executes the best will win the game, and that's what will ultimately decide who wins and loses.
Thought it was interesting going back to Unlock with Fox's Brock Hewitt on Monday. He said the 2 biggest individuals that will decide this game are Kane Womack and Nick Sheridan.
Oh, wow.
And I do think when you look at this, these are massive moments for both of those coordinators.
They really are. I mean, I don't know where Alabama fans are on Sheridan right now. I think I've got a pulse where they are on Womack. Sheridan's just so much like is what am I seeing? Am I seeing Nick Sheridan's influence? Am I seeing Kalen DeBoer's influence? When you watch that defense, it is Kane Womack's defense, right? This is not – he's coaching for an offensive coach.
Yeah, and Suttle said on Bama and Bourbon yesterday, and I don't remember this comment, but, he said it, and you guys might remember it, that Nick Sheridan said all of our offense might not even be unleashed in 2024.
Yeah, I remember him saying that because we played it here on the air that he made it sound like they have saved, plays or haven't tapped into all the playbook yet. And we all reacted like, got pretty close against USF. May have needed to turn the page on that playbook, go a little deeper.
And there is speculation, and I'll only say that, speculation among fans. So let me couch this as best as I can. Speculation among fans.
Yeah, don't put your fingerprints on it, bro.
I'm not touching this. I'm going to have my hands up in the air, sir. That Kane Womack also hasn't been really exotic in a lot of his defenses. That what Western Kentucky and South Florida and Wisconsin saw was a lot of basic stuff from Alabama.
I would then say the same thing I just said when it was 21-16 with about 6:45 to go into that game. It felt a little. My palms were sweating a little bit.
Against South Florida?
Probably want to. Let's do some of the good plays now. Maybe want to flip that over. a little bit.
And I think you caught a break, and I hate to say it that way, against Wisconsin when their starter, when Tyler Van Dyke goes out. What was it, the 7th play of that game?
First drive, I know for sure.
I mean, then I've got a backup in there. I'm probably not going to have to get super exotic with him, right? I mean, I'm going to be able to maybe just confuse him on some stuff, and we're going to be good. And indeed, Alabama was. You think he's there? He's not there. He's there.
Yeah. Am I coming? Yeah,
I know.
All right. Now, one more on the Oklahoma-Auburn game. Big weekend. Will Mike placement here from WSFA with Keldrick Falk. You make the call. Is this a compliment or not a compliment when he's talking about Michael Hawkins Jr., the new starting quarterback of Oklahoma? Hit it.
I mean, we had a teammate just like him, Robbie Ashford, to be specific. So we practice against, that type of quarterback. I feel like our quarterback has the ability to run, so we've been practicing against it the whole spring, fall, and throughout the beginning of the season. So we've been practicing against it, and I feel like we've been handling it pretty well. I just think with this quarterback, he's really talented, and I think we need to keep eyes on him and while we rush him, just to make sure we don't let him leak out of the pocket, because he can be dangerous leaking out of it.
So the reason you ask is it a compliment is because he said, "Oh no, there's a guy on our team that can replicate Michael Hawkins Jr." And then you're like, how on earth has he not gotten snaps in an actual game, right?
No.
Is that what you were talking about?
I was talking about Robbie Ashford first. We used to have a teammate, Robbie Ashford.
Oh, used to have a teammate. I missed the used.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, used to have a teammate, Robbie Ashford, who's now at South Carolina.
Listening skills, Brown.
Getting starts right now.
You said, who was that on this show that said Auburn fans would not want? I mean, when I said Auburn fans got to be hating the fact the way he's playing.
That was me. I don't.
You don't think he'd be starting at Auburn?
I do not think
Robbie
he would be
Ashford?
starting.
I think 1,000% would be starting.
Robbie Ashford.
He would have started in front of Hank Brown or Peyton Thorne.
No way. No,
I'm not saying from the start of the year. I'm saying the way Peyton Thorne played early. You don't think Robbie Ashford?
Maybe he gets some. Maybe he would have gotten some action.
He would have.
I don't know.
He would have started against New Mexico.
I mean, you could. No, he would. Hank Brown would have been the starter.
Oh, absolutely not. Robbie Ashford would have started in front of Hank.
You could have had a Robbie package, but it wouldn't have been the starter. Hank Brown.
Yep.
Robbie is not the thrower that Hank Brown is now.
You mean the guy that just threw 3 interceptions?
Yeah,
that guy and a half?
But he's throwing.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Scott Forrester from the back row says no, he would not be the QB.
Yeah, I agree with Scott.
I'm not saying he's good.
Yeah, I agree too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm wrong. I'll take it.
I think you've not tapped into the Auburn fan base.
I didn't call any of them this morning.
You should spend a little bit more time with Taylor Korn and Scott.
Oh, she's resigned by it. She don't even talk about it. Like, she really will not talk about it. Pull her in here.
No, she talks about it. She talks about it plenty, just not to us anymore.
She won't talk about it.
No. I mean, Rusty says the MyBookie.ag chat room. Brown, did you watch Robbie Ashford when he came in against LSU? Absolutely, I did. They were completely hamstrung. But again, I've watched Auburn's quarterback situation too. I do think Robbie Ashford brings a skill set that Hugh Freeze has. I thought that when Robbie Ashford was playing in the Iron Bowl, and you knew Brian Harsin had long since been fired. Robbie Ashford's playing in the Iron Bowl against Alabama, and there's rumors it's either going to be Lane Kiffin or Hugh Freeze. I remember saying, and I think I even put it on social media, Robbie Ashford's got a skill set Hugh Freeze could tap into. And I still believe that. I mean, it's irrelevant now. He's playing at South Carolina. Yeah. But I do believe that.
Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama believes you should stay on top of your health. They've got 35 urologists, none of them named Robbie Ashford, at 16 locations across the state of Alabama. Find the one that's nearest you by going to urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com. 16 locations, as I said. They treat all your urological needs from prostate health to kidney stones. They'll take care of you. urologycentersalabama.com to schedule an appointment, urologycentersalabama.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters. It is the will to prepare to win." Hi, I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryant Bank, and I can tell you that our Bryant bankers have the dedication and the experience to put together a financial game plan that is right for you. At Bryant Bank, we specialize in community banking and offer personal and business loans, checking and savings accounts, mobile banking, and treasury management services. Stop by one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama to find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239 Equal Housing Lender.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Back with you on the Next Round. Braves playing again tonight, weather permitting. If I went 1 to 10, 10 means they 100% play the game tonight in Atlanta. 1 means Noah is lining up the Braves 2-2. Chances of the Braves playing the game tonight?
I'll go 2.
You'll go 2?
Yeah,
it doesn't
I've
feel...
seen some weather. Yeah, it does not feel like they are going to get this in at all.
Let's go to Scott Forrester in the Weather Center. I'm kidding.
I'm going to pull up Atlanta here on my weather app.
Doesn't feel like they would play.
And I'm going to tell you what they say, the hourly. What time's first pitch for that?
6:20 Central, 7:20 Eastern.
That is going to be 70% chance of rain at first pitch, increasing up to 90% chance of rain by the end of the game. I would say there is 0 chance they get a game in tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, if they have to do the 2 doubleheaders on Monday, are those 7-inning games? Is that right? In Major League Baseball now?
They never did that, did they?
I thought they changed that. Am I wrong about that?
They did that in minor league baseball. I don't think they did it in the big leagues.
I don't think we've ever seen that.
They put a runner on second to start the game. It's a doubleheader.
We'll get to trash in a second. Michelson Laser Vision. bringing you a part of the show today. Michelson Laser Vision changed LT's life now 2 decades ago.
Yeah, make the phone call that I made, 21 years ago, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jim Michelson, best in the business. Make that phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask about the pre-inflation pricing. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
A quick reaction to this. Will any of you watch the 6-part series Netflix on Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon?
I will not.
The rise and the fall of WWE and McMahon?
No.
No?
Nope.
Forster?
Anybody save it?
Tyler?
Anybody
You
save
gonna
the
watch
graphic?
it?
Nope.
No.
Tyler's already said he
no
knows.
interest.
Gotcha.
Jeez, no interest. I mean, at one point, it was a big part of Americans' lives.
It was.
I mean, even I've
Never
watched a little bit
people
of
that
it.
enjoyed wrestling. I was just never a wrestling
You never
guy.
watched the WrestleMania?
When I was a
back in the
kid,
day,
but I got.
Is it going to end with, he's had a bit of a rough landing here at the end, Jim, of his career? Is it going to end with that, or is this just cover the launch of it or whatever?
No, this is the rise and fall of Vince McMahon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the fall is what I was referencing there.
That'll be interesting. NFL news before trash.
I got an NFL stat for you, too, that'll blow your mind.
Okay. I'll find a sponsor for it.
You're good at that.
Doug Peterson promises changes. We saw Mac at the end of the game last week. Is there a chance they bench a $245 million quarterback for Mac Jones?
Shad Khan might have to step in and have something to say about that.
Is Doug Peterson the problem, though?
Doug Peterson's job is on the line. If they continue to play like this, he's out this year.
He's a good coach, though, isn't he?
He's a good coach, but it's just, it worked in Philadelphia until it didn't, and it hasn't really worked in Jacksonville. 2 years ago, they were the best team in the AFC South. Last year, they missed the postseason. They're not going to make the postseason this year. I don't think Mac Jones is a better option, but, I don't know. Maybe he is.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Mac come in and light it up.
Here's the stat. And this is from David Payne Purdom, who covers the gambling for ESPN. DPP. And Lance, you tell me how uncommon this is. It sounds very uncommon. The biggest NFL favorite on the board has lost outright each week for the first 3 weeks.
Wow. And that's why their survivor pools, like I was talking to my buddy Drew, he's like, because he said, I've got so-and-so. And I was like, I thought you lost. He's like, I bought back in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's insane, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It shows you, man, if you just look week to week what has happened in the NFL, from the Raiders beating the Ravens and then the Raiders turning around and losing by double digits to Andy Dalton in Carolina. Another example was how good the Cowboys looked in week one and then getting run off the field in back-to-back weeks.
In case you were wondering, okay, Brown, who's the biggest favorite on the board this weekend? This one seems highly unlikely, but I guess they all have, right? The Patriots are catching 10 at the 49ers. I just can't see a world where the Patriots win that game.
Who is
the 49ers are banged
Brock
up. The
Purdy may not
up.
play. He's got a back issue. McCaffrey's in Germany. Ayuk doesn't seem the same. Debo didn't
Jennings
play.
looked really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
but this is the Patriots.
They
have no quarterback play. I mean, Lance, can you look? You didn't see these other three coming or at least all of them, because one of them you had in the survivor pool.
Yep.
Find you someone who loves you like Robert Kraft loves Tom Brady. At an auction last night, whatever that big auction company is in New York, they were sitting there side by side, and while they were sitting side by side, Robert Kraft spent $120,000 and bought a Tom Brady playoff contender trading card. There's the card to the right. There's them sitting together at this auction last night with the auction company there, Sotheby's or something. Sotheby's.
Yeah.
Sotheby's. $120,000 for a trading card, and you're sitting next to him. Don't buy a trading card; just talk to the dude for a little bit.
It's for charity, right?
Probably.
You think you got it autographed?
Mortgage Right brings us trash right here. It is time to move forward with that. Hit the big button, Tyler.
Congratulations, The Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
And since day one, our friends at Mortgage Right, your mortgage experts, proud to partner with those guys, whether you're listening in Seattle all the way to Selma. They can put you in the home of your dreams, whether you're buying your first home or your final home. 205-902-7200 or mortgageright.com. NMLS 2239 equal housing lender. I told you guys there's a theory out there. Go ahead. What were
I
you
was going to say when we were at the Selma Quarterback Club, we saw on that one street just a lot of big older houses.
Yeah, classics.
If you could buy those and fix those up, they were classic looking homes there. It was a really cool neighborhood.
Do you guys remember when I brought up, it was on the way to Dallas, I think, and I listened to this little bit about the Antichrist is Mr. Beast.
I remember you bringing that up.
Very likable guy.
That's right.
This is interesting.
He's got a broker peace between the
Tyler
Middle
has
East at some
brought
point.
this story to us. Some of YouTube's biggest stars, including Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI, are teaming up with a new food product. The influencer introducing Lunchly, what's meant to be direct competitor to the Lunchable snacks from Oscar Mayer. And I think this is, like, Big Farm has got a lot of these food companies in their back pocket. There's a lot of working together here. You get the big influencers.
When you say big
to fatten
farm,
our kids,
pharmaceuticals, not big farm like farm to table.
They want our kids to be obese where they can treat them for the rest of their lives. And our obesity rate is something that hasn't been in 30 or 40 years. And this is nothing but processed garbage. I eat it myself. So I'm contradicting and being a hypocrite here. But this is the perfect way to launch this, is to have these guys, because how many billions, right? Or hundreds of millions of followers.
Mr. Beast was the first channel to hit over 100 million subscribers, and then the Paul brothers have tons, as well as the WWE deal where Prime is promoted, and then KSI is also huge on his own.
Yeah, I'll never, I told this story before. It was during the Final Four, not this past season, but the season before that. We're watching in my basement. Some family friends are over, and there's my daughter and several other teenagers in the house. And we flipped over to WrestleMania between the games, and it was the match. One of the Paul brothers was fighting, and there was a Prime bottle out, and they pull the top off, and it's KSI. And all the teenagers in unison said, KSI! And I'm like, I don't know who KSI
now,
is.
Paul went on to say these meals are a, quote, healthier alternative to a grab-and-go market dominated by Lunchables, maybe a little healthier. I don't know how much healthier, but this is brilliant for them to get them involved, because these guys will blow it out of the water.
I just want to jump in and say really quickly, hand grenades and lawsuits, you just have to be close to get a little something out of it. Lunchly, if I'm Lunchables, I go ahead and file that lawsuit just to see what happens. And
just to see if
I get a little bit of money out of them. Lunchly.
To assume the money they put behind this, they probably got all of that shaken out before.
I'm sitting there going, well, I talked to a business owner the other day with a name that didn't sound anything like her name, and she had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep the name. I was like, those two names aren't even alike. Lunchly, it's in a box. There's one even with cheese and a cracker over there. No, sir. You got to at least take the cheese and cracker off of it, or with the name Lunchly.
Yeah, but they didn't invent cheese and crackers.
I know. When you said that, you thought instantly, this is instead of Lunchable, eat this. That's what you thought, right?
Well,
I rest my case.
I've never understood, and people swear by the pizza Lunchables. I've never tried the pizza or the nachos. It just seems like a mess.
The nachos are awful, but the pizza's pretty good.
I keep hearing that. But when I go Lunchable, I just go cheese and crackers. I
normally do. The pizza one was big when I was a kid. They would have a regular pizza and then a treatza, which was chocolate sauce and M&Ms on top of a little tortilla.
Sierra Madre couple has a few complaints about the reclusive tenant who moved in a few weeks ago. Let's get a picture of this. Nope. Okay. That's not him.
That's not him?
Nope.
Oh. He's blind.
No,
there it is.
Yeah.
Large bear, not to be expected, a black bear living in the crawl space under Bob Nestler and Susan Nestler's home in the San Gabriel Valley foothills. Bear sightings in the community on the southern edge of the Angeles National Forest are not uncommon, which helps explain why the Nestlers are not overly concerned about the bear they have named Junior.
This is why you got to be specific about your prayers and/or your wishes if you ever get a lamp, because I promise you, in the 1970s, little Jim Dunaway would have said, "Man, if I had 3 wishes, I'd wish the bear lived with us," and that bear would show up.
What's your first reaction?
Instead of Bear Bryant is where I was saying there. The wrong bear.
Go ahead. I think people figured that one out. So you open a crawl space, you see a bear. Your first call is what?
To whoever can wrangle. I had somebody had to get the squirrels out of the attic.
Yeah, I don't think
cost me like $2,000. I can't imagine what a bear would cost.
That guy's dealing with squirrels.
I would call mortgage, right? Because I'm refinancing.
Now, the Nestlers have been in contact with wildlife officials, but they said they only want Junior to be removed if they can do it. humanely. Now, they've captured several photos on a motion-activated camera installed by California Fish and Wildlife agents that show what appears to be the face of that larger black bear. They said older as well. One video showed the bear lumbering down North Sunnyside Avenue on a cool September day. Susan Esser went on to say, quote, he comes in apparently around 5:30 in the morning, leaves us late at night. He hasn't caused any problems other than we need to get him to leave for safety's sake. I mean, everything's all fine until he decides to maul one of them.
Well, yeah, my problem is now, though, the bear knows that's a safe haven, right?
That's right.
He knows he can come back anytime.
Maybe getting a little food out of the
That's
trash.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, you don't want him getting comfortable.
No, sir. That's going to be your problem right there.
Wait, now, so he comes in at 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, and then he doesn't leave till late night.
So he
bad
stays
hours.
during the daylight.
Yeah, and then he
during
goes
daylight.
nocturnally and goes on his hunts, I guess.
Yeah. He's a night owl. He's out all night. He's got him a little
Got a
bear
good-looking,
lady.
healthy coat, though.
Got a little bear lady in the neighborhood.
He probably does. Hey, so I know Brown's a fan of Bridgerton. This is sad that people get scammed like this. This reminded me of the Fire Festival a little bit. Bridgerton Ball experience held in Michigan turned out to be a royal mess. Now, pictures of the social media going viral for an event on Sunday, which organizers billed as a chance for fans to, quote, step into the enchanting world of the Regency era for an evening of sophistication, grace, and historical charm.
Well, it's like it's in a church fellowship hall.
Yeah. Now, the reality said some attendees was a disorganized and bare-bones event that left attendees dressed up, sitting on the floor amid vendors selling Kit Kats and watching a stripper who was hired as the evening's entertainment.
I've never seen a stripper on Bridgerton. We've watched every episode. I want to be abundantly clear that's not what that show's about. So
Yeah,
I don't know how that... They also don't have Kit Kats.
Rachel's response right there, the dancing, they had one stripper, capital letters. Yeah. They wanted more?
Now, the event is drawing comparisons to the infamous and unofficial Willy Wonka experience that earned global headlines back in March. I don't remember this one. Now, according to local station WBCK, the ball was not an official Netflix event. Streamer does have a touring event called the Queen's Ball, a Bridgerton experience, according to the event's sparse two-page website. This was the Detroit Bridgerton theme ball, where tickets were priced from $150 to $1,000. According to
that is so sad.
I know. According to one attendee, quote, the way it was described was that it would be a Bridgerton event and we were going to have classical music, a good dinner, there was going to be a play, and there was going to be Pick Diamonds the season. They were going to give away all these prizes. We went in. It was completely empty in there. It was complete chaos. They never even scanned our tickets. We paid to eat dinner. There were random people all throughout the venue. My family and I just left the Detroit Bridgerton Ball, wrote one attendee on Reddit who posted several photos. It was absolutely horrendous, all caps. There was nowhere to sit. Although the venue was nice, the decor was sparse and extremely tacky. Wasn't even Bridgerton themed. Said we spent $400 on tickets for a complete bullshit experience.
You know what else Bridgerton has that this doesn't have? Dudes. Like, I did not see a single guy in there. Like, if they were looking for...
Maybe that was the one dancer, Brown.
Could have been a guy, yeah.
I saw the one episode where the girl got pinned against a tree.
Yes, you did. That's the very first one.
I don't see any Bridgerton-like girls that were in that either.
I would tend to agree, although later in later seasons.
Okay.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by
our friends at Mortgage Right. Again, whether you're looking for your first home, your final home, you've got a big down payment, you need 100% financing, our friends can help. 205-900-7200 or mortgageright.com.
Look at that last photo.
Why were you so
pretty sweet photo op?
Yes, you can sit on a throne with a bunch of random flowers.
I was a little slow getting to that. That's the best picture of them all, Tyler. That one's good.
Well, there was still more to the story.
Our friends at Champy's also bringing you this hour, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Don't forget to get by there and stock up for the football weekend with a great Southern fried chicken. Champy'sChicken.com. Highway 119. Go by and see Sterling, the great Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. The chicken's brined overnight and all the sides. It is Champy'sChicken.com. Before we do our final thought of the day here, a little Alabama local TV history.
Right.
You know, I've always said Scott Forester is the best sports photographer since Mike Tucker.
Uh-huh. Lance, do you remember Jim saying that, or is Jim just saying that?
I don't remember ever hearing the name Mike Tucker.
Okay.
Well, Tucker's here now.
Okay. Right.
Forster's back there. I don't know. Before Tucker, I think there was a guy named David Morse.
Okay.
Early in TV, it was Morris, Tucker, Forster, and I don't know who that would be now. But those were the three best sports photographers in local TV history.
I thought I heard you mutter when he walked in with the camera, who is that guy again?
No.
Hey, wait till Dunaway remembers he worked like 15 years with Todd Eagle, and he's going to have to go back and readjust.
No, Eagle was good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I always went those three guys were the best. I've stayed strict to that list forever.
Poor Todd Eagle. Just rolled him under the bus. Who freeze? Todd Eagles don't shoot for you. Now you're just going to roll him under the bus?
By the way, I'll be on Fox 6 maybe at some point. I don't know when.
What's the
Stay
story
tuned. It's on how the internet is confusing to old people. I think that's what the story is. Is that what the story is?
It's taking advantage of old folk? How's the Bitcoin deal doing?
That may be a part of the subject.
Is that going to be part of it?
Is 6 going to be on your side?
I joked on the air one time that I needed Fox 6 on my side. And
boom, look at them.
Dang it, they showed up.
That's right.
Yeah, here we are. So we're talking about that after the show. So stay tuned to local Fox 6. Not that we endorse any other station more than any other, but stay tuned to Fox 6 soon.
Well, main anchor Jonathan Hardison, big fan of the show. We like that.
We do like that.
And ABC 3340 gives me a check too, so we like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I've worked at all the other stations too.
Right.
So I'm just saying that if you want to see old Jim Dunaway act confused about the internet and how can you be hacked? What is Bitcoin? All those fun comments coming up on Fox 6 News on your side. Final thought of the day brought to you by Grace Tree Services. They clean up all the dead wood in your life and on the show as well. Brownie, I don't know if he's gotten anything wrong today. I am obviously bad about the internet. That can be in my dead wood. I said something. I had a wrong game earlier. I was confused about that. Right. All that cleaned up by our friends at Grace.
Yeah, and if you need anything extracted in your yard, I had to have the guys come out a couple of months ago. I had 4 dead pines, pulled it out. Great experience, family owned and operated for over 25 years right here in Birmingham. Experts in high-risk tree removals, pruning. If you need the soil health treatment to strengthen your trees and plants, these guys are fantastic, trusted by nearly every golf course in town. The Birmingham Zoo, there is no competition. Hurricane season supposed to be the worst in years. Don't wait to get your tree work done. Protect your house and family today. Again, call 205-281-6100. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. You can scan the QR code that Scotty's got up right there, or just visit graystree.com.
I like that Fox 6 went back to that retro 6 like Tucker's wearing on his hat right there. The 6 from my childhood. When I see that 6, I think 2 things.
Bill Bolin.
No. I think Scott Richards, the legendary anchor, and Keith Jackson, because back then it was an ABC affiliate, and that's where you got the weekly ABC game was on WBRC 6. And you'd see that 6 down in the bottom corner, and it was Keith Jackson and Frank Broyles. That's 6 from my childhood right there. I like it. Retro.
I think of Country Boy Eddie and Herb Winches and Joe Langston.
Bill Bolin was a good one, though. My granddad, my grandparents loved Bill Bolin and Tom York. Yep. York was Fox 6, right?
Yep. We used to do a thing called Dialing for Dollars,
That's right.
I think is what it was called.
Who was the meteorologist? Pat Gray?
Pat Gray originally. Alabaster's Pat Gray.
Yeah.
Who, still alive, not still alive, Pat Gray, passed away. Yeah, the great Pat Gray. It's worse if you do it the other way.
It is. What's Pat doing now?
Yeah. She was one of the best. I think she was the first female anchor in Birmingham history, period. Fact check me on that one.
I can't.
It's like a debate.
Yeah.
Final thought here is the Brandon Marcello story. You see Brandon Marcello with Ryan Brown every Monday morning after Luganville and me on the Middle 8. He was with Jimbo Fisher this week in Little Rock when Jimbo was there speaking to the Little Rock Quarterback Club. And Jimbo Fisher, enjoying his time off, just recently shot a giant elk in southern Colorado in 3 shots he brags about. He says it's okay taking, quote, at least one fall off in the Marcello story, but he leaves open that he wants to return to coaching if there's a right situation for him. He's never coached for the money, he said. He talked about the money he made early in his career, not only at Samford, but at Auburn, where it was like $40,000 or $50,000 when he was calling plays at Auburn. We all know that salaries have changed and everything. Do you think Jimbo Fisher coaches again? Doesn't have to. He's got all the money in the world. And what would be the right situation that would lure him back into coaching?
Well, as you said, he's got all the money in the world. I think it would have to be a situation where he thinks he can succeed in. You don't want to go in, and he still does have a legacy of winning a national championship and having good years at Florida State. But based on what he didn't get done in College Station, I think he's got to make sure it's the right landing spot. It is interesting. I heard him on the show with Jacob Hester yesterday and E.J. Manuel.
He does a weekly hit with them.
No, I didn't know he was doing a weekly hit. It's the first time I had heard him, but...
Obviously, both those guys played for him.
Yeah, but I do think that this shows you that he kind of wants to get back into it.
Staying
On
relevant.
some level, yeah.
Would you be super excited, like, if your team hired him as an offensive coordinator? Because that offense just looks so dated and dead.
You think he would come back and be an offensive coordinator?
No.
Well, would you rather be...
But if he's doing it for coaching, if he really wants to just be close to the game.
Let me ask you this. I'm trying to think of a team. Okay, I got a good one. Because this Seth Littrell thing is not working great at Oklahoma.
Go
Just answer my question, though. Like, would you rather come back and be Barry Odom coaching UNLV as a head coach or be offensive coordinator at an elite program like Oklahoma?
He won't come back for either one of those.
What's he coming back for then? Give me the type of job he'd come back for.
I'm just saying he's not coming back to be at a group of 5. Head coach.
Or a coordinator?
Or a coordinator.
So he's only coming back for a Power 4 head coach.
Yeah.
Well, then he's, I think, severely limited.
Well, that's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
But he's not. He says coming back for the right situation. The right situation for Jimbo Fisher is not going to be as a coordinator.
Well, but
it's not going to be at a group of 5.
I don't think a Power 4 is going to offer him a job. Give me a Power 4 that would offer him a job.
I don't know. Neil Brown, West Virginia. He's a West Virginia guy. If Neil Brown gets fired,
maybe because of the West Virginia connection. Yes. Okay. There's one.
I'm just throwing him out.
No, that was a good one. That was a good one.
There were people at one point that loved him down in Auburn, Alabama. Big boosters used to love him some Jimbo Fisher.
If the Auburn job came open and they hired Jimbo Fisher, you'd have a revolt in this state. That would be one of the least popular hires.
Oh, let us know in the chat room.
Oh, no, they would hate it.
Oh, you're kidding me? The way he looked at Texas A&M? I mean, you got to keep in mind, SEC fans saw that week after week, so they know what he looked like at the end. And it was not good. Again, it looked like an offense that is so out of date.
Well, if I'm Jimbo and I'm coming back, I'm not calling my own plays, right? I'm going to get somebody who.
Oh, you think that's what he'll do? An ego like Jimbo's?
I would do it. I'm just saying, if I was Jimbo, if I came back, I would go.
Where was Bobby Petrino last year?
Missouri State, I think. No, he was the coordinator at Arkansas. Went to Texas A&M,
right,
and then came to be the coordinator at Arkansas.
How different does the Arkansas offense look this year to the A&M offense last year?
With a quarterback that really doesn't fit his system.
No.
Yeah. I mean, the Petrino quarterback is not Taylor Green.
Tyler Wilson, Ryan Mallett,
That's right.
Those were the quarterbacks we saw in the past.
Your point is that Jimbo put the muzzle on Bobby Petrino.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think you were running Jimbo's offense, and you saw how that worked.
So my point was going to be, I don't think he's going to let anybody run his offense.
There is a little breaking news in the Georgia-Alabama game. Reports from all the Georgia media is that wide receiver London Humphreys is battling mononucleosis now. We used to be scared to get that from kissing. Back then, the mono was going.
But it's highly contagious, though.
It is.
I mean, that's something to look at. If this thing rolls through and multiple guys are out.
Georgia's Kirby Smart today on the teleconference. We'll see when the reports come out. The report comes out tonight, the first one. So you will need to see. But all the reports are he's out. So Smart danced around it, but all the media over there is reporting that London Humphreys will not play Saturday against Alabama.
So if he's out, listed as out, does he have to be out?
I don't know how the SEC one works well yet. I know the way the NFL one does.
We haven't got to that yet, but if he's listed on Wednesday as out, there's no way you can change it by the time you get to it on Saturday.
But you noticed, you brought it up, all those Auburn guys that were the Qs, what were they on game day?
They played.
Yeah, every one of them.
Yeah.
And by game day, the Auburn practice report had very few guys on it, or the availability report.
All right. Don't forget, we got coverage that continues all week long. We'll keep you updated on the mono outbreak inside Georgia.
I think that might be overselling it a bit.
Mono outbreak for Georgia. Bama goes stereo in 24-10 win. Headline early. All right, that's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Don't forget, covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com for all the developing news for Alabama and Georgia. TheBarnAuburn.com as Oklahoma comes down to Auburn's Jordan-Hare Stadium. Little T's got everything going at nextroundlive.com Next Round Live on all social media outlets. Forrester will be sending out great stuff from news conferences all week long. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.